Hi, I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber, coming to you on YouTube Live in a special edition. Now, if you're getting recommended this video, do me a favor, hang around, check it out, see what you like. We have apprentices, people wanting to get in the trades, plumbers, company owners in here, all kinds of wonderful people talking plumbing. Now, maybe this is not what you came for. Maybe you are here in the live. If so, man, we are glad to have you here. Ask plenty of questions. This is going to be a special edition. Today, we're literally opening up our silver play button. Now, that's a unique award that you get. So we're going to jump in and literally we're going to start out with a little celebration. Then I've got some wonderful friends that are going to come in and we're going to talk plumbing. Not just me, but other plumbers that I have. So what we're going to do is I want to start off and do this a really neat way. Y'all get to hear about Grayson, my editor, William, my content creator. I'm going to go ahead and bring them in and we're going to start off the celebration right. I know, check it out. 4 mics. We are literally, man, this is kind of a different deal. So first of all, Will, you kind of started out with me.
Yeah.
From the very beginning.
Day one, I think I was your 3rd subscriber.
Man, that's pretty cool. And today we hit 150,000. So it's really funny that not only did we hit 100,000 August 28th, but now we hit 150,000 today. What's that? 24, 25 days later.
Yeah.
And so we already planned this party to open the silver play button, hit it. So that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
So then we brought on Grayson. What's up, brother?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
You know, I'm doing wonderful. And it's been really neat because we've seen a lot of growth. We've seen a whole lot here lately, but, you know, Will comes up with some great ideas. You come up with some great videos. The editing, guys, if y'all hadn't been able to tell, the editing is really phenomenal. We added another camera today. We've got, as Neil said, 4 microphones. Man, we've been preparing for this and getting ready for it, but it's been fun. Will, what's been the neatest thing about getting here, growing here, and doing what we've done?
The coolest thing is that I get to say for a living I work on YouTube. That's pretty fun to say. Not a lot of people get to say that I get to make YouTube videos for a living, but it's pretty cool.
It's pretty neat just to say, look, I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
It's what I do.
It's one of the best jobs
I like
ever.
Neil's comment there. He called us Jay and Silent Bob Grayson.
I guess that's a good comparison.
Yeah.
You know, I surround myself with some great people. So, Grayson, tell me this. And I know when you first came in, you said, look, this would be like the dream job. Is it as much fun as you thought?
Oh my gosh, it's so much more better than I could have ever imagined. And you know, my story starting out is I was going to lunch with Will for a while. We went to college together. And I wanted to edit for Roger because every day he was telling me what he was doing. And so he actually drove me away from my job to come here and do what I love. And so I wanted to thank y'all for that.
And the funny thing is, you know, Grayson wanted to edit, and every day Will'd come in, he's like, dude, we got to get an editor. I'm tired of editing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's kind of been crazy. And I'm going to bring in Amber and Julie here in a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and ask Will to open up the silver play button. We actually are here to celebrate today. So
I'll cut it and you can open it.
There you go. He's going to open it so we can see what we got here. I know that we've got Paul Peck in here. I know he's got a silver play button already. And we're going to bring in a cake and some cookies and stuff here in a little while. First of all, here's a letter. You want to read that, Will?
Do you want me to read all that?
Well,
I
maybe
barely
not all.
passed
Maybe
English
not all
class.
of it. I know. Now wait, Grayson already told everybody you went to college.
Yeah, well, you know, we know people in admin.
Oh, man.
Hey.
Man, check it
Look
out.
at that.
Looky
Wow.
there.
Nice.
That looks amazing.
Man, that does.
That looks nice. Here, look, I'm going to go focus the camera. Hold it up for the
Camera 2 or 3.
camera. Hold it to this one right here.
Okay. Man, you know what? Let me pull the. Yeah, let me. I'm trying to tilt it where I can get rid of the glare, and I really can't.
That's awesome.
Man, that is pretty cool. So everybody's saying congratulations. Thank you all so much. This is really, really
It's
cool.
gonna look cool on the shelf.
Man, this is
edition.
neat. Again, you know, the best way to say it is, look, bringing these guys in has been fantastic for us. Me and Will saw a vision a long time ago. It's hard to see it when it doesn't always move like you think that it should or like you want it to, but it has definitely been a lot of fun. So I want to definitely say thanks to William and Grayson both. This has been such a wonderful, man. It is. It's a neat thing to just say, look, man, I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah.
It's what I do. And it's neat to have a job that you get up every morning. You're like, you know what? I get to go to work today.
Even if I'm late sometimes.
Even if it's late a lot. So, guys, I want to say thank y'all very much.
Yep.
I'll bring in the girls here in a minute. I said we've already got plumbing questions going through.
Yeah.
But hey, thank y'all both. I really do appreciate it.
it.
All right. All right. So, you know, the cool thing is I came up with this idea about 2.5 years ago because I walked into a social media marketing event and decided, okay, I want to do something different. I wanted to learn social media. And it was really funny because I just thought, I don't want to learn it from people just trying to sell me social media. And there's a lot of people like that out there. And so what I did is I talked to Julie and said, look, I want to go learn social media. That way I can come in here and do it. But I want to learn it from social media people that teach it, people that train it, people that know it, not just people trying to sell me a package on social media about a product that they sell and things that they do. So I went to social media marketing world, had a phenomenal time, and actually met some wonderful people. You know, Daryl Lees, Sean Cannell, Jeremy Vest. Later met Nick Nimmin, D. Nimmin, Roberto Blake. So many amazing people, and it's been really cool. So if Julie and Amber will come in here, Grayson went to grab them. Okay, so if they'll come in here, and they're going to bring in some cake and cookies and show y'all what kind of cool stuff we had done today, huh? Sean Strong says, great, now get back to work. You know, brother, we're working on it. Sorry about that. You know, the neat thing is we had a lot to learn today. We've got, as you see, we got 4 microphones, 3 cameras. So we're bouncing around camera to camera. And, man, it's just a lot of fun. Well, I thought since I told them earlier we were going to be doing that, they'd have grabbed it before I said, hey, are y'all going to jump in? Just come on in. Perfect. So, you know, I went out to my sister's a couple of weeks ago, and man, that is just so cool. I went out to my sister's a couple of weeks ago, and she had this cake and some cookies made, and it was so cool. And not only that, they were amazing. You see, we got Sean Strong in here.
I know. He told you to get back to work.
I know. Thanks a lot. Hey, thank you, brother.
Sean keeps us grounded.
Amber, man,
Yes,
I don't
sir.
know. Will, I guess they can see that pretty good, can't they?
Can they?
I want to tilt it up.
Should we
with
put it?
out
gotta
it
be
falling out. I
careful.
know. So, man, we have got a really cool silver play button cake. And, man, if you look at it, I got to tell you.
It looks great.
Man, I mean, pretty
Wow.
good job. That's pretty cool. So we'll put a link in here later. This is Patricia Harris's work. Phenomenal.
Yep.
Now, Julie,
Okay.
show the cookies up there to that,
To which camera?
the middle one there, the one y'all on your right.
Can you see this one?
Yeah,
down a
we may have to eat them.
Oh yeah.
There you
There
go.
we go.
Angle it down. It
Yay.
looks great.
So here's the silver play button, and then here's the white YouTube.
Good,
and
'cause I
then
can see it well.
She had some funny ones. Here's the toilet paper.
Alex Peach 2000. No, brother, this is live.
And then here's the poop. I mean, you can't be a
Of
plumber
course.
without a poop cookie, right?
Oh, I guess somebody sees my tea glass. Yeah, tea's great.
Oh, yeah. And then, do you want to show these two?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, show those two too.
So, you know, Roger has a magazine. He's starting the Trade Talk. So she has the cookie for the logo.
Did great. I know.
And
Lynette
then
D says, can we have some as well?
Just yes. Oh my gosh, these are so good. I try not to eat cake, but I had cake the other weekend.
Yes, she did. And she had lots of cake, and that's why she couldn't breathe in the next week.
She broke her rule and had the delicious cake.
Yes.
So number one, thank y'all.
Thank you.
For everything. I mean, those of y'all that don't know, Julie and Amber both do the LinkedIn Lives with me on Tuesday and Thursday. But, you know, without their help, we would not be doing anything that we do. Amber keeps the plumbing company running smoothly and keeps me in line.
Yes. Yes.
Julie just tries to keep me in line.
I just hang out. Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't have much luck with that either. There you go, Chaz Wilson.
Chaz Wilson,
Thank you very
welcome.
much.
So glad to see you here.
We're
Master
having
Network.
Yeah, it's really funny. We started this out as a 100,000 play button party, but then just a while ago, and I don't know if it showed up on the deal yet, but we had 150,000 subscribers.
Yes.
Just
Yay.
about an hour ago.
Congratulations.
So thank you very much. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah. Can we get cookies in the UK? You know what? You can. I don't know if you can get these cookies in the UK, but Neil, good to see you in here, brother. Thank you so much.
All right.
So, you know, number one, thank you both, because I could not do this without either one of y'all. Y'all know that. I'm kind of hard to keep in line.
I know it takes, they always say behind every great man is a wonderful woman, but
I've
it
gotta
takes
have two.
It,
to
it does
keep you
take
in
two.
line.
It takes two.
Man, and you know, it's true. You know, Julie's the one that literally, whenever I went and came home and said, look, I want to do YouTube, after she said, wait, what? She gave me all her support and help, and it's been phenomenal. I remember the day that I called Amber on the phone. I'm like, do you want a job? And she's like, no. You know, I'm at home. I'm in the PTA. I have a lot of fun stuff to do. It's like, yeah, I could really use help. And she said, well, you know, I really don't want a job. It's like, look, just come up and talk to Julie. And she comes up, and then about 10 minutes, she looks at Julie and says, oh, my God, you do need help.
My kind heart was like, I have to.
I know.
I
I
have
know.
to.
She felt so bad for me that day.
Yes. It was just a lot going on.
It is pretty funny.
And notice too that we're sporting our tuber
I
Yes.
know.
Tuber turn.
Our
know.
merch.
And
Our
you
merch.
can ask Neil, the Urban Explorer, about that.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was awesome, Neil.
It is. That was great. That was really
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
So anyway, ladies, thank you both very much.
Thank you so
I do
much.
appreciate
So
it.
proud of you,
Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
everybody
You are
on all
doing
this
great.
hard work.
We
It's just so
We're having
exciting.
fun.
I think we need to say thank you too to all the subscribers and all the
Yes,
viewers,
thank
and
you
for
so
everyone
much.
who keeps us going with your comments, your videos, your pictures. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling in too with questions.
All
Yeah.
the time.
Absolutely.
And emailing.
Amber's
Absolutely.
my question girl.
Yes. Let me know what you got.
Everything comes
We'll
to
get it
her.
answered.
So
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
Well, good.
All right. I'm going to leave these
Thank
here.
y'all very much. Yeah, leave
for
those
your
there.
guests.
Yeah, you know, we might, I know we have more guests on the way.
That's right.
Uh,
Thank
super
you.
chat from Mr. Neil, the Urban Explorer.
Oh, you know what? I love Neil. You're my favorite.
But wait, what? Hey, I'm gonna pretend I can't read right now. I'm
you
like,
see
what?
that comment?
No, I don't see it.
Thank you, Neil.
Why hadn't Will already deleted it? What's up,
No
man?
way.
I mean,
It's hard to tell.
I mean, come on, man. That's crazy. You know, it is what it is. Neil, thank you very much, brother. I do
Yes,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
So,
All
yeah, we're
right.
going to do something different today. Ladies, thank y'all very much.
Okay,
Yes,
he's
you
ready
can
for us
want
to
me to
leave now,
leave
so
the
thank you.
No, take it out there where people
Okay.
eat it.
Okay, yeah. Do you want me to
You can leave the
take
cookies.
this, or-
No, I want that left right there,
Okay.
please.
All
But
right.
you can actually take this, or I'll get Will to put it on the shelf or something like that.
Okay.
You know, so, and actually, go ahead and ask Ricky and Chase to come on in. I'm gonna slide those around a little bit and just kind of get those out of the way. Oh, yes, sir. Thank you. You know, so what I'm gonna do today, just to be a little bit different, is I brought in some plumbers from around Dallas, and these are really some great people. These are plumbers that check out Mr. D. Nemon in the house. I love it. Good to see you here, brother. Thank you for the super chat. You know, D. Nemon is one of the guys that I learn from. I watch D. I watch Nick. I watch Jeremy. There are so many good people. And it's great to see you in here, brother. I appreciate it. Every morning that I get up at 3 o'clock and look at the notices on my phone, I'm like, okay, why why is D going live at midnight? I'm an old man, D. I have to go to bed early. But I love watching what y'all are doing and learning from y'all. Not just D, but I mean, Paul Peck, Neil the Urban Explorer. If y'all aren't subscribed to these people, go over and check out their channels. You can learn so much, and it really is. It's great stuff. So what I talked about a minute ago is I brought in some friends today, and we're going to talk about plumbing. And not just plumbing, but I mean, I have people that want to get into the trades all the time. I have people that are in the trades and want to get better. And then I have people that are in the trades that want to open their own company. So there's a lot of opportunity for people to exchange information in here. And I thought, for a 100,000 party that turned into a 150 party, I thought, what a better thing to do than bring some of the people in the trades that are nearby that I respect. And it's like, okay, I'm going to bring some people in and we're going to visit and talk and have fun. So first of all, Chase, how are you?
Doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So you've been doing videos yourself about plumbing.
Yes, I have. Yeah, probably for about, I think we really started making a lot of videos probably maybe about a year ago.
Cool.
Been plumbing probably since 2012. But we wanted to start videoing it because we decided, man, the stuff we're doing is like really cool. We're in weird areas doing crazy stuff. And I think other people should see what we're doing.
And a lot of people, and there's a lot of people around the country, they ask me all the time, like, wow, y'all crawl up under houses and work on plumbing?
Yeah. You better
yeah, we do every day.
The money's right.
Absolutely. And you're over at Baker Brothers.
I am. Yes,
and, I'm a little bitty company, and Baker Brothers is like one of the biggest companies around. But, we still love to talk to each other and communicate with each other and see what different people are doing.
I think, man, that's one thing really unique about the Texas plumber community is, we all do kind of compete in our own ways, but ultimately, especially with my group, I know a group of younger guys, we all stick together from other companies. We're just here to see the trade rise. We want to see younger guys in here. I think that was kind of more of an old school view, was complete, like, companies staying complete separate. A lot of times, man, we are training together. We are talking to each other up in the mornings during lunch, meeting up for lunch, trying to get each other to be the very best versions of ourselves we can be for Texas plumbers as a whole.
And, I like the way that you put that. A lot of times we're in training rooms together.
Mm-hmm.
I think Missy Jones is going to come up later. She's with SGI.
Cool.
And, I have literally gone over to Baker Brothers and sat in training sessions. And, I mean, there's companies not just from around Texas, but around the country. And I think that what really happened is that whenever we had to fight the Texas state government for our license last year, it brought a lot of us a lot closer together than we'd probably ever been in the past. And that was a neat deal. And in the middle of meeting other plumbers and doing social media and things like that, that's where I met Ricky. And Ricky's an apprentice.
Yes, sir.
And how long have you been plumbing?
About 3.5 years. We did new construction 2.5, and then service for 1 year.
Pretty cool. And you're at On Time Experts.
Yes, sir.
And tell me this: what got you into the trade? What is it that I know why I got in, but what got you started in plumbing?
Well, so it was kind of a funny story. I used to do a lot of walking, and I would just walk to my friend's house or walk to the store, just whatever. And one day I was walking, and this guy pulls over and he goes, "Hey, man, I see you walking a lot." He's like, we have some odd jobs we do on these new construction houses, sweeping them out, stuff like that. He's like, if you're ever interested in some side work, just here's my number. So I started doing that for once or twice every couple months, nothing major, just sweeping out buildings and stuff like that, just getting some side cash. Mm-hmm. But one day the plumber over there, Billy, he told me, he was like, hey, if you're ever looking for extra work, he's like, my apprentice just quit. So I was like, all right. And I started doing that. Started out real part-time and then started out more full-time. And I just kind of fell in love with it from that.
And how's it been for you?
Oh, it's great. I love it. It's been very good to me.
Yeah, and it's really neat because getting into the trades, and I know that my channel's about plumbing and I talk mostly about plumbing, but getting into the trades, Julie and I talk all the time about people learning their way up. And you can be in any situation. You can not have a great home life and say, look, the whole world's against me or whatever. But to be honest, if you're willing to get out and learn and apply for a job and learn a different trade, like I said, I talk about plumbing, but I mean, there's also electricians and HVAC techs and roofers and man, window cleaners and landscapers, and there's all kinds of different things people can get out and do. Don't get me wrong, plumbing is the best.
Oh yeah, no word, no lie about that.
And I get other trades in here all the time, so I have that argument quite often.
Plumbers are the best.
So Chase, what got you into plumbing? What made you wake up and say, "Wow, this is what I'm going to do"?
Man, those are two separate questions if you ask me.
Well, let me hear it.
You know, what got me into plumbing was, you know, a girl that I was dating. Her brother was a plumber, and one day he called me in to be his apprentice. So I didn't have much going for me at that time, but I was a hard worker. So I guess he saw that and he brought me on. And I worked probably for about, and I tell a lot of apprentices this, that you might not know how passionate you are about the trade until you're a little bit in, you know, because about 6 months or so in is when I decided this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Or at least until I get bored, right?
Absolutely.
But,
It can change.
yes, sir.
That's cool because me, I was 16 years old. I was managing a restaurant. I'd quit school, working with one of my best friends. And y'all ever heard of Speaks Plumbing in Garland?
I have.
Okay, so Grant Speak. And it was really funny because we were in the restaurant. He had worked with me, and we were in the restaurant working one night, and it was slow. And he stood there and he looked at me and said, "So, are you going to do this forever?" And I'm thinking, dude, I'm 16 years old. I am managing a restaurant. Life is good. And he looked at me and said, "So what's going to happen if you get fired or quit?" And to be honest, I probably got fired. But I said, "Man, I don't know." He said, "Well, who's going to hire a 16-year-old restaurant manager?" And I thought, okay, that's a really good question. But he told me about his brothers and his dad that were all plumbers. So when I did get fired or quit, whatever happened, I called one of his brothers, got a job plumbing, and man, it blew my mind.
Oh, man, plumbing has changed everything in my life. It takes an insane amount of passion to really move like forward from it being a job to a career too. And I think that's really when you start to get dividends back from your hard work, because it does cost a lot from you as far as our time in the hole, you know, and really dedicated time to learning stuff. But like you said, and if you're a young guy out there and you're struggling to figure out because I actually went to college too. So, you know, I came in the trade a little bit later. But whenever I came, I was ready. And the trade was ready to take care of me, I can say that.
So what'd you go to college for?
Communications major. So I wanted to be an English teacher.
Yeah, and I mean, that's really good. It's because, I mean, and it's funny because we talk to our guys in training all the time about, you know, we're taught in school how to read, how to write, how to talk, but we're not taught how to listen. And that is one big thing that's really big on us whenever we teach our people. It's communications, you know, speak and then listen. What is the customer telling you? So, you know, I know that you've been in commercial and service both. What is your favorite?
Well, I didn't do commercial. I did new construction,
Okay,
residential houses.
Construction, right.
Definitely service. Definitely service. I got wore out on doing new construction really quick. It's just same thing every day, repetitive.
See, we have Josephine DeSmet and Dan Norton both in the house. How are you guys doing today? And say hello to Big John. Here's the question. It says, oops, forgot the message. It was meant to be destroy a shark bite in a video sometime. Man, I got a question. Yeah, while it has water. I like that. I like that. Do you like shark bite fittings?
No, not at all.
Do you like shark bite fittings?
Yeah, like 2 a.m. when I'm in a cat and go home for the night. I better believe I like them.
And come back and fix it the next day.
Yes,
I
sir,
hope.
yes,
Okay,
sir.
just
Yes,
checking to
sir.
make
No,
sure.
we don't allow them to be installed. We have really strict quality control at Baker Brothers, which I think most companies should have. And that would definitely land you in the fishbowl, we would say.
You know, and it's just it's funny because people jump in, and I've got a video about why I don't like shark bite fittings, and people jump in all the time and say, "Oh, well, you just don't like them because customers don't need to call a plumber then." And it's like, wait a minute, I've made about 400 videos teaching people how to fix their own plumbing, and you think I'm just mad because shark bites are going to keep them from calling me? Shark bites leak. Have you ever fixed a shark bite
Oh
leak?
yeah, I made a lot of money off of people making repairs off of shark bites.
It
Yes, sir.
happens a
People
lot.
lost a lot of money on insurance claims from the same thing. It's just not a wise decision to make.
Well, Chase and I did a whole repipe one time where all the water was done in shark bites and all the sewer was done with CPVC glue.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. So I did work at On Time Experts at one time, in which Ricky worked underneath me as my apprentice. He was a great apprentice. But yeah, we do a lot of repipes. And when I see those, man, I'm replacing them or I'm not touching the area. My company won't own anything like that. So I'm with you, man. No shark bites.
So here's the deal, Brian. I will work on a video about destroying one. Pretty much when we get to them, they're normally destroyed anyway. They're either leaking or they're going to be destroyed. So thank you very much. I appreciate the comment. Is there anything else, Ricky, that, I mean, shark bites are something we do not use ever. We don't do. Are there anything that you're like, you know what, this is one thing I really don't like about plumbing that, you know, I had somebody talk to me about it earlier, drain cleaners. You know, hey, look, they really don't work. They're not good for your pipes. They're not good for the plumber coming to work on it. Mm-hmm. What is your thing that you see either that homeowners do or that handymen do?
I see a lot of like fern cones under slab. We get that doing a lot of the sewer calls that we run, being like a drain cleaner and everything. We see a lot of that, and them shifting.
I got a picture today of one. We did a partial sewer repair, tested it, had another leak, isolated it, and sure enough, you know, the complete offset.
Yeah, with
in
just
the
those
pipe.
two silver bands
You
and
bet.
nothing in the middle.
No shear band. Absolutely. So, Paul Peck, good to see you in here, brother. Paul Peck and Neil, the Urban Explorer, are a couple of moderators that, man, these are, again, guys that when I was in LA last year at Vid Summit, it was great to get to meet some of these people and hang out with them. D was actually there for a while. I think that's the one that, no, D was there. It was Social Media Marketing World. D was sick at and didn't get to
You were
hang out
just
with
like
him.
at a convention or?
Man, I go to social media marketing conventions. I go to 3 or 4 of them a year. It's because that's where I get to hang out with, man, the greatest YouTubers, the greatest video editors, content creators, just really good
I mean,
people.
that's where you get to, sharpen your axe, right?
I mean, think about it. You know, I tell people all the time, if you really want to be good in the trades, never stop learning.
That's right.
You know, and you talk, look, a lot of times we're all in training sessions together. And, you know, me, when I got into social media, it's the same way, something I knew nothing about. So what I decided is I want to learn to do this from the very best of them. And that's why I go to the conferences that I do.
Makes sense.
You know, and you train plumbers at Baker Brothers, part of the training, right?
I train plumbers all over. Yes, sir. That's pretty much what I do.
It's good, though, isn't it? I mean,
that's
to get
the
to
best.
teach people your trade.
It's the best. I've recently started to reach out and train more people that are outside of my truck. But man, the relationship that I usually have, I always say, we're talking about those young kids earlier. Just bring me a kid with just a spark. I just need a spark of something from him. And it can come from all different. Some kids are really smart. Some of them, just give me some type of spark. And we can take that and we can, really protect that and turn it into a raging fire. So what I love most about it, like I said, is watching people, first of all, start to realize like how profitable not just plumbing can be, like, with money, but it also like just like you're actually doing big things like in life, and it's hard to get them to kind of go from that thought of, man, I'm plumbing. But yeah, we are doing sewer, gas, and water, and that's what we do every day. But the passion in which we do those things, that's what's going to really take us from that next level, which is where I like to see the guys grow. Because there's nothing more special than, like I said, finding a kid that does have that flame, which I think Ricky was, and then kind of helping him grow that up. And then, at some point it's passed over to him, and then to watch him take it and see what he does with it. That's what it's all about as far as training for me.
No, and I love that because to me, look, training is what it's all about. And, I tell people all the time in the trades, if you want to be the best in the trades, get up every morning, study for 30 minutes or an hour about your trade. You do that for a year, you're going to be in the top 5% of your trade because you're going to know more about tools, materials, equipment,
Because
techniques,
you care.
anything at all. Absolutely.
You care, and that's the biggest deal. is find something, and that's why I say I can take different traits that are good from one or the other, because all I need you to do is care,
You bet.
and believe. So those are the things.
And that's huge. I want to say thank you to Big John. You do it. How are you, sir? It says in construction, does Paul Peck do the drywall first? Then Roger comes through and does the plumbing. Then Paul uses his banjo over the pipes, right?
Like
John,
vessel?
yeah, absolutely. Big John, brother, it's good to see you in here. It really is. It's funny because people ask me that all the time about plumbing, and we're like y'all. We do a lot of slab leaks and leak detection, and people call all the time and they say, okay, look, we know we got a slab leak. Do we need a plumber first, or do we need a foundation company first? And they already know they've got problems. And I always tell them, look, what I come in and do is I may test it and tell you, yes, you've got a problem. I'm not really worried about isolating it right now. I'd rather the foundation company come in, get their work done. That way I don't come in, fix it. Then the foundation company comes in, jacks everything up, and messes it up. Y'all pretty much see it the same way, or y'all do it a little bit different?
That's 100% how I would see it. I would definitely want to get it tested before so that I could have some sort of a point of reference, and that's what I would say. And then we would get that work done, and then definitely we would want to, do that work after, with X-risers and everything. If you didn't, you would definitely regret it, I think.
And
the customer would pay twice.
Yeah, yes. And the other thing is, I like working with the foundation companies, which, I love Williamson Foundation out of Rockwall. Not sure if you're familiar with them.
Okay.
They are great, and lifetime guarantee. It's great to have them around. But Big John, love the question.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you do a lot of isolation and testing yourself?
Well, that's how you've got to do it. You know what I mean? Because, like he said, the last thing you would do is come back twice for it. We come back on a lot of our calls are, we just had foundation work done, and we need like a sewer isolation test or something like that. And almost, I don't know, like 50% of the time something's broke.
You bet. It happens. Got a super chat from Paul Peck. Thank you, sir, brother. Says, congratulations, Roger and team. Kiss my girls, Neil. Love that. Kiss my grits. Yes. Okay, now I see it. Oh, are they? Neil and Paul? And the neat thing is, man, I love these guys. Got some of the greatest guys in here. Got to hang out with them in Los Angeles. God, man, so much fun. I'm ready for all these seminars and conferences to open back up and get us all back together and hang out. Definitely a lot of fun. And then Josephine Lauberte says, Roger, do you do the plumbing or does the mustache do all the plumbing? I'll tell you what, when you got a mustache like this, it does everything for you. I mean, it's
just wake up and throw your boots on.
That's it. Throw your boots on and walk out the door and you're good to go. That's great. Thank you, Josephine. The thing is about plumbing, and I have apprentices reach out a lot and they say, man, look, or people in high school, they say, look, I'm in high school. I want to get into plumbing, but, I don't know if I can handle the poop or the smell or something. It's like, look, it's not like we're just laying in it every day, rolling around. And I tell them, like, that's something that we come across every now and then. It's not very often. But, I mean, when you do, it's just part of the business.
Exactly.
Man, I tell them that maybe this ain't for you. Honestly, it's not something that anyone wants to be a part of, know. But it is something that's real, a part of the service game as far as where I come from is strictly service. I've only ever done service. And, definitely it's a pill to swallow, but we do a good job of having gloves on all the time, doing a good job of always putting out plastic. But at the end of the day, you're probably going to be in a position that's going to make you uncomfortable.
It happens.
Yes.
Now, and I like that because
I'll never go anywhere that I wouldn't send myself. So
you bet.
And then that's the agreement we'll have with each other.
So you've always done service.
Mm-hmm.
When you got into plumbing, did you understand there's new construction, there's service, there's residential, there's commercial, there's union, there's non-union?
I knew nothing about plumbing.
I have said that 100 times. That's why I'm asking.
About plumbing. I think we were even heading to a gas job, and I was like, "We do gas." He was like, "Who do you think did gas?" It was actually Dustin. Was my I apprenticed under him. So, he was like, who did you think did gas, And I was probably a horrible apprentice the first couple of months, but because like you said, you don't even know what to expect really. And it's all digging and talking to customers. That's all it is. It's fun.
And look, I love this trade, and I've got a free mini course, and literally it's just to ask people questions. What kind of plumber do you want to be?
Yeah.
Because when I got into it, I just thought, okay, I'm going to be a plumber. No idea, didn't know anything about residential or commercial, knew nothing about new construction and service, didn't even know anything about the union and non-union. So when I got into it, it was literally like, wow, plumbers do all that?
Yeah.
Ricky, what about you? Did you know what kind of plumber you were going to be? Did you understand there was a big difference?
I
or
had
anything?
no idea until I started it. Actually, when I was doing new construction for a while, I kind of had shied away from the idea of service because in new construction, it has like a bad rap for exactly what y'all said, like rolling around in the poop and stuff all day. But you know what I mean? Like once you're in it, that was kind of once I decided I was going to move on and look for somewhere else to work. And I decided, I was done with new construction. I wanted to move to service. I just kind of was like, well, we're going to see what it's all about, see if it's as bad as everyone says it is. And it's really not. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where you don't even really get used to it. It's just not as bad as you might think.
And it's not like it's something you get into very often.
No, exactly.
And I mean, at the end of the day, the service game is where you're going to really set yourself apart as a person, I think, too. And I know, like, a lot of new construction guys that I know and commercial guys that do really well for themselves. But as far as, like, really financially, like, if you're going to set yourself apart, and really step into, like, making more money as a person, you got to step from that new construction to that service game,
Okay, so I got a super chat here from All I Talk is Tech. It says, I make iPhone tutorials on YouTube. I'm 3 weeks in plumbing school. Any advice for me on starting a plumbing channel next year when I'm an apprentice? Yeah. Do you do many videos?
No, not really.
Have you
more
wanted
Chase's
to?
field.
I know. I'm headed there next.
Yeah.
Have you thought about it? Have you thought about, you know what, I'm just going to bust out my phone today and make a video about what I'm doing here?
No, not really. Normally, I'll just capture moments or picture of something that I see. But as far as just filming my all day, job to job, no, not really.
Good. I don't need the competition.
Yeah.
And Chase, you do. You make a lot of Facebook videos.
If I had it my way, then I would have someone that followed me around all day, every day, just filming my day through.
Why'd you let him leave?
And
man.
my job was just to hold the GoPro.
Yeah,
There you
exactly. We have GoPros, man. We do whatever it takes to get it out there, and I want to do it in a quality fashion because that's something that what you're talking about. Starting that when you're a channel or starting that whenever you're a young apprentice. First of all, you're going to have a really good advantage is that you're going to be in the hole. So you're going to have a lot of content that's going to be there for you to actually record. You know what I mean? Record what you're doing and ask a lot of questions. And I think the best thing, too, is that whenever I first started making videos, man, no one's going to know who you are. You might even get some people that are going to, like, kind of hate on what you're doing. And the views are going to be really low. But if you keep pumping out good stuff, you keep making really good repairs, and making sure that you're standing behind them all the time, I think that it just starts to take off. People start to ask about you, and before
It makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, I see one of those super chats just fell off. Oh, there it is. Okay. Medwardy, thank you so much. Says, what do you think about sewer backflow valves? Do you deal with many sewer backflow valves?
Man, I don't. I do run a Facebook plumbing page. It's called Professional Plumbers Community. On Facebook. So if you guys are ever, you should drop by. The reason why I did that is because I wanted to start learning more. Honestly, I was getting a little bit bored. And that's something dangerous for me.
It's dangerous for all of us.
Yeah, so I reached out, and started making this. So what they use a lot of those, like in different parts of the country, and I see that they're using them regularly, so much so that they're even questioning an install that I've installed, saying, well, where's your back, So I've never installed one before, but the thought of them makes a lot of sense to me. But is that like on a house trap, like before or after? Like, there's a lot of things that we don't do here in Texas.
It's literally like the check valve for the sewer.
Yeah, that's cool.
And we don't do a lot of them here in Texas.
No.
So, Chase, right, what about you? Have you ever seen any or done
we don't
with
run
any?
across those.
What would be a reason? Would it be because there was like a lot of high-rise buildings around, so there's more head pressure?
The only time that I've ever used one was at Medical City Hospital when I built E Squared. we put a backwater valve there, and that keeps the sewer gas from coming. Say it does back up in an area, and especially like you said, when you got two high-rise buildings or anything like that, if it backs up on one side and you've got a lot of pressure, it could push up in the other, and you don't want that to happen.
That makes sense.
So it's actually pretty cool. So, Eduardo, thank you very much. I appreciate the super chat. We don't deal with them a lot here, especially in residential. Sometimes in service we do. Well, I know Neil had one too. I don't know if his still came up. I know, and the good thing is I read it because he asked me, "Is Paul too old to learn plumbing?" Man, that's a tough one, Neil. Really, I mean, aren't y'all brothers or something? So, look, Paul's not too old to learn anything.
Are they trolling or something? Is that what's going on?
They're trolling each other.
Awesome.
They're
Is
both
there a
great
winner
guys.
so far? I like winners.
I know. Who are you betting on, Will?
Yeah.
We're the winners. There you go. Will says, I'm gonna put them both in timeout. The neat thing is Paul has Paul Peck Drywall Tube, got a great YouTube channel, and Urban Explorer is Neil C. He has actually got a travel van. And I mean, I remember first video I watched, he's cutting a hole in the side to put a window in. And I'm like, dude, you're cutting a hole in the side of your van. And I mean, man, he does some good work. It was really pretty cool.
That's cool.
Paul wants to know, can he be taught plumbing or is he too old? I'll tell you what, Neil, Paul is not too old.
How
that is
old
for
is
sure.
he? Just for the record.
Paul's probably 40, 45 years old.
Definitely not.
And it's funny, and that's really it's a good question because when I was an instructor in the union, I had an apprentice that was 55 years old. Mm-hmm. But I tell you what, he showed up every day. He worked hard. He did what he was asked to do. And in the union, you can build that pension. And think about it. You work till you're 72, you can get 12 years, 15 years of pension in there.
I have no idea about the
13
union.
from 55
That's
to
awesome.
72.
So like when you're working, then they're putting money back for you. That's
Oh
what
yeah,
you're saying?
that's why I was a union
that's
company for years.
awesome.
So put it this way, after 24 something years, I can retire. I can retire right now if I want to, or I can wait till I'm 62 and retire and get like a full pension. But I mean,
That's awesome.
as a plumber, and I was open shop for years, so I know a lot of plumbers that. Man, when they retire, that's it. It's over. It's done.
Yeah, that'll be it. When I
retirement.
retire, it'll be from whatever the the fruits of these hands, right?
Are you investing in 401k or
Yes,
anything?
okay,
So you've got a little bit.
Yeah.
But the pension, the cool thing about it is, so now Paul Peck comes in and says, Neil's about to get flushed. I knew something like that was coming, Paul. But the neat thing is, I mean, I've got plumbers that I've worked with for years that, even with, got 40, 50 years in the trades, there is no retirement plan. It's like, I'm going to retire when I die because I got to work until then. And that was part of why I was a union service company, because I knew that I wanted to have a retirement plan. We had a retirement plan, had full insurance coverage for our guys and their families. A pretty neat deal, but
I mean, was that just the way to do it back in the
that's
day?
that's the way the union is today.
Yeah.
They're still that way.
I mean, just like unless you just wanted to go out all on your own, then you would run union.
You bet. If I didn't have any idea of getting out and opening my own company, I'd have stayed in the union. And I mean, think about it, after 30 years, 35 years, you can probably retire with, I don't know, $2,500, $3,000
So
a month.
you're an installer then, doing like jobs off of blueprints?
New construction, but yeah,
Cool.
yeah. I used to teach blueprint reading, blueprint drawing, isometrics, all kinds of different things.
Cool.
But the neat thing about it is, and that's what I was asking them about a while ago, because when I first got into plumbing, I just knew I was going to be a plumber, and I knew nothing about service, new construction, residential, commercial, union or non-union. And I asked you about it. Mm-hmm. You've done new construction. You love service, and the people that tell me, well, am I ever going to have to touch poop or anything like that? Well, you know what?
Yeah,
if you're in service, there's a pretty good chance that's going to happen.
Most of the time, it ain't regular mud.
Right, but and think about it though. If you know somebody that wants to get in the trades and they're like, look, I could never. I could never touch poop.
Yeah.
Then you know what? You may want to be a commercial plumber because I mean,
But the point is that
hardly ever
there is a
happens.
place for you in the trade.
Always.
But there are places everywhere in this trade that don't require that. Even if you're a very experienced service tech, like if I didn't want to do sewer drains, then I wouldn't have to. I could do water locating, and that could be perfectly clean. I could do clean water all day. I prefer, because like, what we said, what does it mean to be a plumber? To me, to be a plumber, for me personally, is, I want to be the very best service plumber that I can be possible. And to me, I think that's the best one that's out there. So what I try to do is do as much of it as I can,
no, and I like that. It's a well-rounded education, and that's why I tell people, look, one of the big things I talk about in a lot of my videos where I'm recruiting or talking about people getting in the trades is never stop learning. And, it's neat. I like the way you put that, because I bring people in and it's like, look, you can learn, you can just be a water heater installer and do nothing but water heaters for the rest of your life and make a great living at it. Then again, you can learn leak location. You can learn isolation. You can learn so many different things and say, look, this is what I do, and still have an amazing career.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and I like that it offers. Me, I'm a bit of, someone might consider me to be a workaholic, man. I work all day, every day if I can. And the thing about my company is we have unlimited work, so that happens to be a problem. We'll just keep working, But it offers a really good salary to a guy that's only trying to work 40 to 50 hours a week as well. It can work for union guys, like you said, that don't want to be in a service situation in front of a customer, and that are going to be getting pension money put back. I mean, there's my grandpa was a pipe fitter, so he's the backbone of my family. I think that pipe fitters and plumbers have been the backbone of families from the beginning of time. So. We can use them everywhere, and your family could use you in the trade too, because man, there's not a plumber that I know of that really struggles unless he puts himself in that struggle.
Well, plumbing takes you as far as you want to go.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You kind of make the decision. You don't see
100%.
a really passionate plumber that you're just like, well, where is he? You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's really neat because this trade does it. It offers so much for so many different people. Man, look at this.
Congratulations.
Man.
It's good to see you.
Thank you, brother. How are you? Congratulations to you. You got a house today.
Well, we sold a house today.
You know what? Man, sell them, buy them, whatever you do.
As long as you're making money.
Whatever it takes. So Dustin, tell people about you. What number one, this is Dustin. Dustin, man, are you a plumber? What? Yeah, you're on the left camera. Absolutely. So tell people about you. Where you work, what you do, what got you into plumbing?
Dustin DeWeese. I'm a Texas master plumber since 2017. I kind of got started in the trade maybe 2009, 2008, something like that. So I've spent a long time doing it, primarily residential service. I don't know, man. I love plumbing. I love to talk to people. I do residential service because I love to talk to people.
Now, you know these two guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Know them well.
So what got you in plumbing? What is it? How did you end up? Man, you got a plumbing job. Start tomorrow. Go to work, boy.
I worked for a degenerate gambler.
Okay. Well, no, you have not worked for me.
No, I did. I worked for a degenerate gambler, and he took like $80,000 in cash. I was an electrician apprentice. He took $80,000 in cash to go buy into the World Series of Poker. My wife's cousin had a multifamily new construction business. So I called him and I said, hey, I want to take you up on that job offer you gave me. And he said, all right, great. I thought I was going to get my hands dirty, and he brought me in as an office manager. So I was running QuickBooks and spreadsheets and fixture counts and reading blueprints and doing takeoffs, and he taught me how to bid multifamily stuff. So that's kind of where I got started in as far as the plumbing is concerned. But
So
degenerate gambler, Roger.
yeah, it wasn't me, guys. It really
wasn't
wasn't.
Roger.
Yeah. Thanks, Chase. I appreciate the support, brother. So the neat thing about it is when you got into plumbing, and I've already asked them. We've talked about this. Did you know the difference in residential and commercial construction and service, union, non-union? Did you know any of that?
Not at all.
See, there did I.
Not even
None
a little
of us did. We actually, hey, we just kind of slipped and fell into it. You know,
Exactly.
it's kind of crazy because that's what it is. I just knew that I had a job or a job offer as a plumber, and it sounded good. And man, at the time, and I mean, man, y'all are a lot younger than me. At the time, I was supposed to go in and ask for $4.50 an hour. I asked for $4.75. So I thought, man,
Big
I got
money.
a $10 raise right there just because I asked
Yeah.
for that extra 20. I know. See, they're stepping back now. They know I'm ballsy right here.
Yeah,
Let me tell you,
yeah.
I ain't scared of nothing. What did you start out at, Chase, when you first started plumbing?
I started at Al's Plumbing for $10.50 an hour.
$10.50 an hour.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
I think it
Ricky,
was-
I was right at 10.
right at 10. Chase, would you start? You probably the guy. You said, hey, I want 15.
No, I wished. So it was more of a laborer position. It was $8 an hour.
So low man on the totem pole,
Yeah.
right down there on the end. Y'all see, and now you probably make more than all three of us put together. You know,
I don't think so.
it's-
Maybe.
well, you know, you never know.
I saw that silver plaque out there. I bet that's pretty good.
Hey, that silver plaque's kind of sweet, man.
It is super sweet. Julie showed me when I came in.
Man, that I got to tell you, it's a pretty neat deal today. Sean Strong says we got to have office ladies too.
Oh.
Dustin, don't be ashamed. See, you know, and he knows my office ladies. He gives Julie and Amber a hard time all the time. You know, the neat thing about it is, and you run a service truck now, and you know, I talked to Chase earlier about teaching plumbing to other plumbers in the company, and I know you're really passionate about teaching what you know about the trades to plumbers, apprentices, you know, all of them. I mean, you've worked with both these guys, right?
I haven't worked with Ricky personally, but he and I have a pretty good relationship. We'll call and visit, and he has questions. He and I have, you know, kind of grown that over the last year or so, but I think he does a great job too.
And, you know, and look, there's a lot of plumbers, and I hate to say it, there's a lot of plumbers that don't do a great job. And,
For
I mean,
sure.
y'all seen some of the videos, y'all seen some of the stuff.
A lot of times I feel like they feel like it's good work though.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and that's kind of like what I think is like the most promising part of it is that nobody really wants to put out shit work, you know, or excuse me, you know, bad work because, you know, that's what we're doing. You know, we're giving everything that we have time away from our family, you know, but nobody wants to feel that way. So a lot of times I think we're missing somewhere in our training and when we're training the quality and the passion into these guys that, hey, you know, don't do that because all your friends are going to make fun of you.
You know, and it's funny because I talk a lot about handymen versus plumbers and whatnot. And, you know, I think he's right. A lot of handymen just don't know. I mean, we go through continuing education. I had to do it just the other day. We're continuously learning, expanding, growing, things like that.
So in our situations, we have these social networks of plumbers, right? So you're proud of your work. Just like Chase said, you might not know, hey, that's not good, or, you know, where's your Y strainer and your shutoff before your double check?
You bet.
Well, if the first time somebody said that, I'm thinking, what is a Y strainer?
Why have I got to put a Y
that
strainer
talking
in?
about,
I know.
right?
I know. I've never put one in before.
Yeah.
Not in front of a double check.
Right. So that's the deal. If nobody roasts you on it, you know, or you don't see somebody get roasted who's brave enough to put their work up on a social media plumbing group, you don't know, right? And the question that you asked was why, you know, teaching. The thing is, if nobody teaches anybody else right now, then there's no more plumbers. You're done. The plumbing trade is over. And I can't do this forever. You can't. So you trained. Chase trains. Ricky's going to do the same thing. But somebody has to take our place, and somebody has to perform at a high level. And if we're the ones to give them the training, they're going to perform at that high level too.
And I think it only takes us as top guys and lengthens our time in the prime kind of deal too. When we're working with guys that are really good around us, growth around us later in our career or in the middle is kind of what can kind of reignite something that, you know, because if you're going to be a top guy, you're going to be a top guy. You're always going to have a certain fire about you that sets somewhere on a certain skill that puts you there. But sometimes, you know, we can get a little bit bored. We can get a little bit faltered. But really keeps me in it is that apprentice every once in 5 or 6 years, you know, or that one coworker that you see grow. So those are things that we use too as top guys, which is what I need around me all the time. Is what really takes us to as well, like as a whole, kind of to that next level, like all together.
you know,
Helps us grow.
No, and you're right, and it's a neat way to look at it because learning. I mean, a lot of people, and I was on a podcast the other day, and the guy interviewed me and was talking about the biases people have against plumbers. You know, we're uneducated, we're stupid, we shouldn't make as much money as them. It doesn't matter what they do because we're just a plumber. But at the end of the day, it's, look, we believe in continuously educating ourselves, learning more, doing better. And, you know, I mean, I was talking a while ago about when we were a union plumbing company, my guys have a pension and an insurance plan, 401k, investments, and what are we doing? But it would really surprise people to know that plumbers really do make a pretty good living. It's not bad.
I think, do you remember whenever I came onto your truck that we had heard my mom was like, she was actually mad at me, you know what I mean?
She was mad at me.
Really mad because I had, you know, like I said, I had went to college and, you know, a little bit, and she had with these expectations, and now I was going to be a plumber.
I know.
You know, and, you know, what she didn't know, you know, is that plumbing was going to give me everything that I am now, you know? And like I said, like they say on all this plumbing, you know, plumbing paid for it. You could pretty much take your camera around my house everywhere around, and you can say, you know, plumbing paid for it. So.
It does.
The groceries.
Yeah, the groceries are good.
Lobster tails. I know
You know, it's a tough life that we
Filet and
live.
shrimp. I know how Chase.
Yes, sir.
He's
Filet
hitting
and shrimp
Kyoto
over
as soon
here.
as he leaves here.
You know, Kyotos don't sound bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad at all. So, Ricky, what plumbers, or maybe even not even plumbers, what people do you look up to and say, wow, you know what, there's people that have either got you to where you're at, got you where you want to be, or working on getting you there. We all teach plumbing, you know, even you. I mean, you've got people you work with that you show them things you've learned. Do you enjoy the education? Do you enjoy teaching the people that you're working with too? Because I loved it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a big part of it. You know what I mean? Every time you hit a point that you feel like you're not learning, that's when you got to make a move. You know what I mean? Because once you just hit there and you're stuck in a rut, that's kind of how I was with new construction. Not that I had learned it all, but I felt like for like the last year that I was just doing the same thing in and out every day. And then when I got into service, that's what I loved about it, is just everything was new. And there's something, oh, well, yeah, there's like this problem, but there's 12 different things that can cause that. And this is how you find out what it is.
It's neat. I want to say bye to Sean Strong. I got a plumber from Nebraska here jumping out. It's good to see you. I'll probably see you tomorrow during LinkedIn Live.
See you tomorrow, Sean.
Later, Sean.
Josephine DeSmet says, look, will you introduce your co-hosts?
Yes, please.
So I have Chase Lyles over here to my left, and he is with Baker Brothers.
That's right.
I have, let's go to the far end down here. I have Dustin DeWeese, and he's with Levy and Son. Mm-hmm. And then I have Ricky Belt right here, the only apprentice in the room. So when we're done, he's going to have to clean everything up.
That's right. You better believe it.
Hey, they taught him well, so I ain't got to worry about that.
I will come back and double check.
There you go. Yeah, he'll get checked on 3 times. And he's with Service Experts.
No, on-time experts.
On-time experts.
He's with
Sorry about
Service
that. There you go. So and also let's do something else real quick. And let's go back to where I started. Chase, what is your Facebook group? Because I know you got a
My
group.
Facebook group, it's plumbers, professional plumbers community. So it's just a group of plumbers that we have together from across the country. A lot of it is me posting and stuff like that. Guys get in there. We are posting a lot of our work and stuff. But I like it because I've kind of reached out now. And like I can talk to people in Hawaii. There's a guy in Iceland that I've talked to. I mean, a lot of these trips I've set up to go out there and actually see what's up and kind of, you know, this one guy's in France and he does a lot of pipe bending. So I'm going to go there and do a pipe bending class. So it's just like a lot of things that, like I said, took me from that middle of the line tech, starting to get a little bit bored and started to kind of like reinvigorate me into the game as far as plumbing and made me kind of realize like a bigger, you know, sight of what you can be as far as a plumber. You know, I think the owner of our company, Jimmy Dale, is a great example of what you can be as a plumber, which is damn successful.
Not too bad there.
Yeah.
Ricky, you've got a Facebook group too.
Yeah, I got Plumbers Network Texas, which is it's small right now. Chase and Dustin and you are all on there as admins and moderators. It's pretty well just it's real small. It's just people in the trade, whether you're an apprentice or a plumber or a manager, just as long as you're in the trade and from Texas. You know, a lot of times you get on there, people from different pages being like,
It's like a baby Texas plumber.
exactly, it's a baby Texas plumbers.
So that was said that way for a reason. So tell me about Texas plumbers.
That's
No, I know. I know. I wanted to see how the handoff went. So you got a Facebook page too.
Yeah, Texas Plumbers. Started in 2014. I told my wife I was looking around for a group. I wanted somebody to talk to. Worked for a very small company, and I didn't have a lot of plumbing friends. So there was not something for guys in Texas. So Texas Plumbers was originated, and we've kind of started from there, and we're coming up on 3,800 members. Just
come home.
it's it's fun.
It is.
I've probably learned more from that group for the same scenario I just talked to you about. Different people talking about different stuff, seeing how they do stuff. People post something up, and at one point in time, I couldn't identify faucets. Now I can pull something up and tell you that, mowing 1225B, right? That's exactly what that one is.
And here's how you know.
Yeah, here, this is it. Oh, what is this? This is a brass one. Well, that's for high heat. You know, that's exactly what those are for. So, but to see that for so long and have this community of people around us has been tremendous. You know, just a big help to everybody around, right?
That. Josephine DeSmet, thank you. I see you got to jump out. Thank you for dropping in. I do appreciate it. So your channel's the Little Texas Plumbers.
It's the Little Texas Plumbers.
So he said he's got
Find it
almost
by that name,
3,800.
Exactly.
So he says he's got almost 3,800. What are you up to?
We got 400.
40.
That's awesome.
But you just started it recently
Yeah, it's
too.
been up for about 2 months.
So see,
Stepbrother.
3,800 of y'all need to go over there and ask to join his deal.
Exactly.
And if you're
Absolutely.
plumbers, he will. No, and that's why I wanted everybody to tell what Facebook group they have, because I get a lot of plumbers in here from not just across the country but from around the world. So to me, it's really neat to know that these guys are doing a lot of things too. They've got people that post videos or make videos. I've seen both you guys make videos. We got to work on it.
I remember the first video I made. I actually we kind of snuck made it, and I called Dustin, and I was like, "Hey."
Now wait, Snuck made it?
Well, me, no, not me and Dustin, me and my helper. So we made it, but I felt a little awkward making it. That's what I mean, So we didn't really do the full captioning of what we would do. We just kind of set up a camera, did our thing. And I remember that I called Dustin. We worked at the same company at the same time, and I was like, I got something that's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna change plumbing forever. And I go to his house and I show him this video of me doing a repair with music behind it. You know what I mean? But the point is,
I remember the very first video that I seen of Chase's. A woman.
Whoa! This is a family channel. I want you to remember that.
She was referring to her garbage disposal as a garburator.
A garburator.
Garburator.
Yeah.
So Chase, as a sneak, I thought that's where you're going with this. As a sneak mood, had his phone in his pocket just for the audio.
Yeah.
And
Just to hear her say garburator.
Yeah, he's saying, there's this part and this, and we're going to replace that. And she said, and the garburator.
Here's the thing, man. A lot of these, and I think it makes sense on why he's making a group too. Why I made a group. I
do not have a Facebook group.
I was a part of a group. I was a part of a group on Texas Plumbers, and then I thought of a bigger idea. But the point is that people want the information. Otherwise there wouldn't be so many groups being made and being formed if people weren't out there trying to catch this information that we're trying to put out there. So that's why you get past the awkwardness, and you're like, dude, no. Yeah, some people are going to say this or that, but most people want to see this content that we're putting out because it is kind of changing their lives in one way or another. Now, I'm really hard up on, I'm passionate about what I do. I'm listening to these inspirational videos, and I'm putting them on there. So that's something that I'm hitting and missing demographics a lot, Some people aren't into that kind of stuff, So it's, but the point is that I'm doing everything I can in there, to try and say who I am and to lift that next guy up.
And I like that. You actually sent a deal yesterday. Mm-hmm. You're watching David Goggins.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dude,
man, I
dude,
live
is
on
that not phenomenal?
Dude, you don't understand, but that's my gas, and like that's what I drive every day. Like on my way here, I'm listening to something, and it's just, you ask like, what kind of plumber do we want to be? I want to be the very best, person and
Do
plumber.
you too?
Yeah,
And no, but
you
but
know?
but that's it, because there's a lot of people that, and we were talking about that. I was talking about the podcast earlier where I got interviewed by the guy, and he owns, or has, I don't guess he owns, but his is the largest podcast for Fortune 500 entrepreneurs, like 2.5 million downloads a month. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And we're talking about it, and each one of us want to be the very best, and we study, we learn,
We do everything in our possible to become one of those people that are remembered whenever we do hang our boots up as one of the best guys that ever held a wrench in our trade, for sure.
and-
We
and-
break our bodies down for that.
we watch each other, we learn from each other, we talk with each other about, hey man, look, have you seen this? What the heck is this? And one problem I think that a lot of plumbers have, once they get that license, they're like, dude, I'm a plumber now.
I'm done.
That's it. How many plumbers do y'all know like that? That are, hey, look, I got my license now. I need to put in 10 more years, 15 more years, and that's it. I'm done.
But to me, there's nothing wrong with that. If a guy can put out quality work, if he can still be, keep himself passionate about it. Like I tell everyone, man, that that certain lifestyle in the service game, what you have to do to accomplish success and then to keep it, that's not for everyone.
And I have nothing against that, and I didn't mean it like that. But my thought is, the new people coming up, the Rickies, the people like that, there's an opportunity for anybody that wants
For
to
them
be
to
the very
take it
best to
serious?
come in and say,
Yeah.
man, look, I want to learn.
And you see so many people get their tradesman license and like, I made it. You know what I mean? And they
yeah.
stop. You know what I mean? After that. And I'm big on like get what you can while you can. You know what I mean? And that's what like my goals are and everything.
I love that you put it that way. I want to come back to that. It says, Roger Wakefield, I'm thinking of leaving my $60,000 a year salary in the media to switch to plumbing for the future growth, and I'm simply tired of being behind the desk work. Do you think I'll be worth the payoff?
Where's CeeLo's at? Where can
Yeah. What part, Silas? What part of the country are you in?
It's a great question.
Yeah, it is. It's a great question. Here's the thing, and to me, really, it's not going to matter where you're in the country. You're not going to make $60,000 a year to start off unless you're in New York or California, and that's just
No.
it's what scale is. But to make $60,000 a year, you can go above that as an apprentice.
Oh, yeah.
New York,
Okay,
so yeah.
he's in New York City. So if you're in New York and you can get in the union, you make your $60,000 immediately.
Yeah.
Meaning scale up there, I think 75, 80 bucks an hour. You may make $30, $35 an hour starting out. But
May I speak to this?
how many plumbers do you know? Yeah, absolutely.
So I had an apprentice. His name is Javier Gutierrez. He may be watching right now, but Javier was...
Javier, hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás, amigo? So what Javier did is he was a bank manager for 13 years, right? If you could imagine what a bank manager makes, it's probably about 60 grand.
Oh, yeah.
Well, whenever he came over to work with me, he took a little bit of a pay cut, but it wasn't enough to, like, put him and his family into, despair. He still did what he wanted to do. He, thrived, and right now is probably making over $100K a year.
Yeah.
He works with Chase.
He sure does.
But
Great plumber for us.
he's an awesome plumber, right?
Yeah. I think a lot of those guys that come in a little bit middle of their life too, like I was a little bit of that, I was kind of right in the middle of my adult life. They seem to fare really well too, because of what you said. So these guys that get them right when they get it, so they're like, okay, now I got my license, now I made it. A lot of these guys, if you've been fighting through the ranks of just life in general, once you get that license, man, that's the first test. Is your first call after you get the license, not that little work that you do in Austin.
Making sure that you knock out the plug in your
Yeah,
garbage
it's sink
disposal.
It's sink or swim, brother, and we're all watching, So everyone's watching to wait and see who the next guy is and what you're going to do whenever you're put under the pressure.
And the neat thing about it is, and I love these apprentices that come in. You talked about the guy that gets his tradesman and he's like, hey, that's it. I had a guy, brought him in as a tradesman, And I mean, he's working with me and another master plumber. He's like, dude, look, I'm a plumber too. Y'all better respect my attitude and what I think and the way I see things. And it's just like, oh my God, really? You've been plumbing 2.5 years. I've been plumbing 35. The other plumber on the job had been plumbing about 45, about 10 years older than me.
I don't really like idea guys on my job sites anyways. The least amount of ideas that you can come up with. Is the best.
You are not the idea guy.
Yeah, that is not anywhere in your job description. Go back and read it again. Go back and it says carry my jock strap, and that's about it.
Exactly.
And that may be the first week of the job. But I mean, and look, this is one thing that I learned when I got in the union, which was really good for me. And it's something I enjoy about talking to Ricky is when I got in the union, I had been open shop for years, and the plumber that helped me get in, I said, look, give me some advice. He said, the advice I will give you is always listen to your apprentice because they're learning new ways. And you never know when an apprentice these days is going to be watching social media, learn something on social media and say, hey, have you thought about this? Mm-hmm. And so I don't mind the ideas or the, hey, have you
Yeah,
looked at
that's
this
just like an inside joke we always use. I don't really like, but
No,
but
I
I think I do accept. I think like what you say. A lot of times, I will ask them, and it's something that was done to me. Dustin asked me, "What do you think about it?" Maybe before he would tell me what the answer was. And some of that was, like I said, so that I can figure out what's going on. But a lot of that, too, is like, what do you feel about it? Because a lot of times these apprentices are learning a lot faster, at least than I was, because now that I'm doing these jobs every single day, I mean, they're getting these reps every single day on these slab leaks and stuff, so a lot of times they're really smart about what's going on, and I want to know what they think about it.
Well, and how many times did we sit under like a house together and you'd be like, all right, well, how are we going to run all this? When we would cut it all out,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? And we would just sit here and make a game plan. And then,
I'll holler out, we're going to the supply house, make a material list. That'll put you in the fire, because as soon as we get back and it's like, what do you do? What could I have? Well, all right, that'll work. That's great. Gives them the opportunity.
well, we did it one time that Chase like handed me he handed me like this little pad and pen and was like, make a supply list. He goes, I'm not going to check it. He goes, it better be right when we get back.
Yeah, it happens. Hey, and you learn. CeeLo, go get your hands dirty, man.
Yeah.
I like that idea for CeeLo, especially, man, if you know that you feel that way, that's time for a change anyways,
Amen.
If you know that you feel that way about any place in life, whether it's any place in life, in work, professionally, personally, you need to make a move, because I've been in a place like that before, and you don't want to be there. So, get out from under that, go explore new things, challenge yourself, and I think the trades is a great place to do it.
Yeah, check out local up there, right? That's pretty hard. I mean, New York City.
Man, in New York City, that's a great spot to get in if you can. And don't get me wrong, it's hard. I think they have 3,500 people apply for 30 to 60 jobs every year.
That you can. You just need to continue to apply yourself at all times throughout. I mean, if you want to be a part of that union crew, then you'll make sure, CeeLo, that you are a part of it.
You'll find a way, I promise.
Exactly.
Okay, so Ricky, do me a favor. You'll go out there and holler at Amber. Tell her to send one of my guys in. We're going to juggle plumbers around for a minute.
Good to see you, Ricky.
I've got, he ain't gone. We're going to do this some more. At least I hope. But we've got some of my plumbers here and wanting to kind of bring them in, talk to them. They make it possible for me to do a lot of the things I do, like social media.
And
it's,
they're keeping the lights on.
Man, that they are. They're making sure the bills get paid. And it's really it's a good thing because, and I mean, y'all know how it is. Jimmy Dale doesn't have to go out and worry about every job.
Oh, if he does, then
he's got the wrong people there, doesn't he?
You got a problem.
Just landed your ass in the fishbowl.
That'll land in the fishbowl.
Yes. Yeah, real quick. And that fishbowl is a pretty popular spot to be sometimes.
For me.
So this is Shay. This is my boy Shay. Shay, I got Chase and Dustin in here.
Good to see you.
What's up, Shay?
And I know.
Hey, wait.
So I'm gonna have to go to the back camera and see. Shay makes me look short. Yeah. Can you squat a little bit or something? I mean, making me look like a little feller. So Shay's getting ready to go take his exam.
Yeah, I'm pumped, man. I'm ready.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
34.
Yeah, I
cool.
started late in the trade.
So you're ready.
Yeah.
This is one like we were talking about a while ago. Started late in the trades and really came in like.
I'm telling you, those guys can be really those guys can be really important to a group of guys. Somebody coming in there with some life experience, I can encourage you to try and be the very best service plumber you can be immediately. Yeah. I mean that. Don't take any days off. Immediately.
He's on it. He's good. I like it. So Dustin, I'll start with you.
Yes, sir.
If you just met Shay and said, hey, he's going to take his exam in, what, about a month, what would be your number one advice?
Go take make sure that you're up to date on all your stuff. If you can have any sort of a prep, carry little channel locks in your pocket too.
That'll make you a
that's
better
the key.
plumber immediately.
Look at him. Look at him.
See?
My boy.
That's
My
it.
boy.
So
Don't
I'm
look this up.
serious. So if you're gonna go down, I didn't take any like prep exam before I had gone to take my journeyman's. I skipped the tradesman and went straight for a journeyman exam. But all of the skills that I had kind of developed over time helped me to breeze through it. Right. Don't get overwhelmed. Read everything twice on your test. And as soon as you come back, man, just start executing. Do what you got to do. Just communication is key in what we do. It's kind of 9/10. The plumbing part is easy. Passing your test is great.
There you go. Trying to get it where
Communication is kind of 9/10 of what we do, man. So just confidence, share life experiences with people, and whatever you have learned up to this point, make sure to teach somebody else.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just being genuine. That's what I think is the biggest deal in service. Is that you don't have to pretend to be genuine if you're just always genuine about exactly what's going on, exactly what your intents are, as far as what your options are meaning. I think that's a huge deal too for you to focus on just coming into the service game, licensed. You know what I mean? It's going to be those options because that's going to be things that are going to take pressure off of you in the field as far as making sales, and it's going to also take those calls and make them from a regular call to a bonus call. So that's what I would say. And as far as the test, man, don't worry about I say if you're ready, you're ready. I always say that we lead the trainings that, at Baker Brothers. I took a test prep. Now, if not, it's because I'm the kind of guy that would stay up all night, every night, dreaming about what could have been on that test. And that's just the kind of guy I am. I wanted to know what was going to be on the test, But as far as the actual test, man, the house is the most natural part of the whole thing. That what everyone else is most scared of to me was the first time that everyone would just get out of my way and let me be a plumber. So if you're ready to plumb in the house, and if you know how to plumb, then you will be, and you'll feel real nice in there. I felt good. I mean, I felt like it was game day. You know what I mean? The whole time. So.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
I freaked myself out pretty bad when I did the house. Really? I went out for lunch about halfway through before they lowered the house, and I had myself convinced that I missed the whole roof. And then I went in, they set it down, and I had done fine. I was in there for another 15 minutes, but I was getting in my own way was the problem.
So Chase, Shay, how long you been here now?
Since February of, was it 19?
So almost a year and a half?
Yep.
Man. So have you learned anything?
Oh, yeah, I've learned a lot. I mean, I had experience with plumbing supply parts working at Home Depot. I've done a lot of different jobs throughout the years, but with Home Depot, I was there for about 8 years. And so one of the departments I initially started in was plumbing. So that's mainly residential, small repair. So coming into plumbing, I already knew how toilets worked, how to do small, major, and minor rebuilds. Cool. I already knew fittings, the difference between, a flare thread and a pipe thread, compression thread.
So you're a good helper.
So yeah, when I first started, I knew hey, go grab this and this. It was like, okay.
Cool.
I went and grabbed it, so.
It's pretty neat when he walks in the first day. It's like, hey, can you help with the shop? He's like, man, I can organize this. It's like, go.
Yes!
You're good.
It never happened, but yeah.
Yeah, we haven't got around to it yet, but we're trying.
Yeah, we're busy, man.
And that's it. I think everybody's busy right now. We have really been busy. The phones are blowing up.
I mean, we've been blessed through this pandemic. I'm for one of the people that actually went home right whenever it started. I had initially taken it as kind of more of a serious deal, than it is. But we've I don't know about you guys. We got unlimited work. You know what I mean? And it's
as many hours as you want to be there.
As many hours
much,
as you want to be there, man. You can go out and kill yourself. I tried it a time or two. You can work as many hours as you want.
100 hours in a week, 22 hours in a day. I've done it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've.
I know.
talk to Dustin during his on-call weeks.
Heck yeah, on-call weeks get crazy.
Talking to
Sometimes you
Roger at 10:30 at night, and he's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "Oh, I'm about to pull up to a house."
Fix
It's
to
like,
pull
"Oh."
up to a house. I
That's the
got some work to do here.
That's the thing. It's tough to. It's a horrible job, right? I mean, the things that we're doing, but the like I said, the dividends that we talked about that they pay back to you, and also the brotherhood that you have, like with people that are in the trade, is a big deal. Like I genuinely care about what's going to happen with your life. I do that about most people, but if you're a plumber versus an electrician, I care a little more. You know what I mean? I believe your family deserves to eat a little better.
Boy, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth?
As soon as Roger tells me, he's like, "Hey, Shay passed his test," and I'm gonna be genuinely
and it is.
You know what I mean?
It's a neat deal.
So that's a big deal because like we're all kind of changing our family trees, kind of like one tree at a time. So if we can all get better, plumbing is definitely a place where you can like make more money than you could ever imagine yourself making. I know I never imagined myself making what I make per year now.
It's actually neat. Do me a favor, run out there, tell Amber, send one of the guys in.
Cool. Thanks,
I'm bounce these guys in, then I can get them out of here, and then bring y'all back in and finish it up and close this thing down. So, how long have you been in plumbing now?
So I started kind of in the underground utilities as soon as I turned 18, so it's kind of coming on 14 years in the trade itself. But as far as being a licensed plumber, I think I was licensed in 2011. So that's it. And no, 2009. 2009. So 11 years as a plumber, master plumber since 17.
Master in 17. Good deal. So, are you going to own your own company one day? Is that it's hard enough just staying busy every day, isn't it?
Yeah. So my wife runs a company, her own business. I like the idea of it. I like the freedom of it. I like all the benefits of it. But then there's a lot that goes into that. You wear a lot of hats, right? And you have to staff weaknesses, and you have to find somebody like these guys to be a representative for your company, right? To understand that Shay is going to do exactly what you would do and
Every
talk to
time
your
he walks
customer.
in, yes.
So that's hard for me to trust somebody, to trust that you don't have an alcoholic, right? Or you don't know if he's going to get drunk or be drinking wine at work. So me running a company may happen at one point in time, not right now.
So we got a comment here from Amelia DeWeese. You don't by any chance know her, do you? I mean,
Hey, sweet girl.
that same last name or anything there. So, okay, cool. So, as you see, Aaron Stone came in. Aaron, how we doing, brother?
Congrats.
Thank you, sir. It's man, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, Aaron is the latest addition to Texas Green Plumbing. He's coming in as service manager, help take the load off me. Like Dustin said, when we bring people in, you got to make sure that things are getting done the exact way that you would do it.
Absolutely.
And talking to him, it was like his philosophies lined up, sounded the same. He liked shark bites about as much as everybody else.
eyes got big for a second. He didn't know where you were going with
Dustin, you look hoy.
Ooh.
So, man,
I am
good for
hoy.
her. You are
Maybe.
hoy today. That's a great
What
thing.
camera am I in,
I
Will?
know. Here, look at this camera right over and smile. There you go. Hey. So, Aaron, how long have you been plumbing?
Coming up in 20 years. 20
And
years.
what got you into it?
Well, I had a kid at a very young age and knew that I needed something that could support the family. So it was kind of what I picked as an apprentice. And the first few years, I did not like it.
The first
20
few.
years
At
ago.
least you stuck with it for a while.
But, seeing the guys that had been in it for a long time really showed me that if I did stick with it, I could have the things I wanted. And so that's kind of what led me into it.
And that's neat because we were talking about that a while ago. Man, this is such a rewarding career. And, I tell people all the time, like, this isn't a job. Don't just think you're going to go get a job as a plumber. And it's a career. It's something you come in, you learn, you get educated on, you stick with, and things like that. Education, to me, is a huge part of plumbing. What is your favorite thing about plumbing?
Well, the satisfaction, the rewards at the end of the day to know at the end of each day, I gave it my best, and fixed some people's problems along the way, and supported my family at the exact same time.
You know, and Dustin and I were talking about that a while back. It's when you walk in and see problems that maybe other plumbers or handymen or people like that have created, and you're just like, look, there's only one way to do this right. And, you know, you build that relationship with the customers. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
I
a
like
big
to
deal.
be the third or fourth guy to show up, right? And then they can explain to. I give great details as to whatever I'm going to be messing with, and then they look at you like kind of dazed, and it's like, is everything all right? Well, it's like, nobody told me that. Yeah. Nobody even gave me that option. I hadn't even heard that before. You could do that, and for half the price that everybody else quoted, it's like, yeah. So then you're the savior, right? Not only do you feel rewarded for having fixed whatever it was, but you fixed it cheaper, quicker, and everybody around you is like, oh my God, and now you are the new plumber, right? We're only calling Texas Green from here on out, right? Can I request you only? That's the kind of stuff that happens. I love that.
And the neat thing is, and this literally happened last week before. Look, what we're doing marketing is working, and I mean our phones are blowing up. And literally, I get a phone call about a sump pump, and I mean I call Dustin direct. It's like, hey man, do you do sump pumps? He says, absolutely. Don't only have them call the office, but make sure that they ask for Dustin. And you know, to me, that's a big deal because then I know, look, I ain't got to worry about them. Yeah. They're getting taken care of. It's not just anybody going out there. Dustin is going, and man, it's a good feeling.
Yeah, those people were awesome. We appreciate you doing that for us. We went out so whenever they call and ask for me, and I know that that's happened, so that's why I do that. Make sure you call me.
You bet.
I will ruin my whole schedule for the day. Right? If somebody calls and says, "Hey, can this take place?" I make the phone call to say, "Hey, dispatch, what do I got first call?" "Oh, really? What about second call?" "Well, let's just move all of those because I'm going to go."
Yeah,
you know,
I got one here I got to take care of.
Yep.
And you know, it's a great thing. And you're our newest member, so what do you see at Texas Green Plumbing that we're doing right? What do you see at Texas Green Plumbing we still need to work on? Because we're not perfect, and I tell everybody that every day, systems and processes are something we're still working on. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to say the things that are right are definitely the values of wanting to do right by the customer, and treating all your employees very well. The processes that we would still need to work on, organize an inventory, which I think.
I thought you were on that.
I know. You heard him say we ain't got there yet.
But I think that even when you have it down, that's a daily problem, right? So.
It is, and you're completely right. Shay, let's go back to you real quick.
He was smiling when you asked that question.
I know. That's why I'm going to come back to him. I know. I'm going to be in trouble over here. You know, you've been here longer than any of our plumbers on staff right now. What are we doing right? What do we still need to work on?
Man, I feel like we do a lot of things right as far as taking care of the customer, and doing things right, even if it means taking the long way. You know, there are a lot of times we go into a situation and it just looks like a complete hack job, and doing it the right way is going to take a lot more time and a lot more effort, but that's the only way we got to do it. So I think we do that really well. Yeah, and then system and process, yeah, man, inventory. I know sometimes too, like we specialize in leak detection and stuff like that, and there's the whole science behind it. We get in and we have our certain steps, but like getting like stuff perfectly step by step, you know, it's we can work on maybe stuff like that of creating those systems, but a lot of it is like you already know what to do, so you just kind of sometimes you do step 2 before step 1, which you can, but it's not like the whole system. So
it's, you know, the thing is we know the systems and processes have to be worked on, and that's something that, you know, we've looked at for a while. We know that. in a minute, I'm going to bring Missy in here, who's actually helping us with systems and processes. But, you know, it's kind of neat to talk to other people and say, okay, look, you know, you get caught up in that same thing every day over and over again. And it's like, okay, wait, you know, what would I do different if I would come in and change things? So that's why I like to ask questions like that every now and then and see.
But I think we do a great job overall. I think we're killing it. Right?
We're trying, and
That's why I'm still here.
You bet. And really, that's what it's all about. You know, I know you've got a month before you go take your test.
Hopefully,
about that.
A month.
It's still taking a while, Dustin. It's still taking a while to get all this stuff scheduled.
We're not
Trying to get that date.
This is a positive thing that we're doing here today, not a negative.
I don't mean it bad. Look, I talk to Lisa Hill all the time, so trust me.
You don't want me to get in on that one.
I get it. So, you know, the neat thing about it is I love what we get to do all the time, and it's continuously changing. And the neat thing about it, you know, not just the plumbing company, but even the social media, you know, we've stepped in and said, look, what can we do different? What can we change? And what kind of things can we do? So, Dustin, I'm going to ask you to go out there and holler at Missy and let her come in. We're going to talk to her about some training, and then I'll end up bringing y'all back in.
Good to see you guys.
Brother, thank you, sir. So, you know, Missy is with SGI. And it's going to be really neat because I want to make sure that she, you know, we've talked a lot about training today, so it's actually been pretty cool. The neat thing about it is, you know, we talk about systems and processes and things like that, and there's a lot of things that, you know, I've known commercial plumbing and a lot of different things about it for many years, but you know, now, as you can see, we have Missy in the house. How are you doing?
I'm good. Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. So, you know, I think you've met Shay before. I think you've been over here when he's here. And this is Aaron Stone. This is our new service manager. And we've been talking a lot about training. How important is training for a plumbing company? And let's even say a residential service plumbing company where the owner comes from construction mainly or commercial mainly, and this is a little bit different. How important is training?
Training's huge, right? So you want to stay kind of in front of today's technology, know state of the art, so you can make the best repair for your homeowner while you're there. So you can get it right the first time.
And getting it right the first time is huge because we get called in a lot and go to things that maybe aren't fixed right the first time. You know, like Dustin said, you know, he likes being the second or third set of eyes to come in. There's a lot of people out there aren't doing things right.
Oh, yeah.
Every day. So you're with SGI.
Correct.
And it stands for Success Group International. And part of, see, right there, Adam Stockton says Missy's a veteran when it comes to this stuff. Absolutely, brother. You're a plumbing coach. And how many plumbing coaches are there now?
So we have 3.
3 plumbing coaches.
Correct.
And SGI does coaching in plumbing, roofing, electrical, and HVAC. How fun is it to work with tradespeople all day, every day?
So it's awesome. And we have things like this that keep you going. Comical. You know, great. It's certainly for me my happy place, my niche. What I love about SGI is that we're able to help protect the sustainability of independent contractors out there, which I think is great. Helping you guys set your team up for success.
And that's good because, I mean, you know, I remember the first time I went to a Profit Day, and I'm literally there at Patrick, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, wow, I don't even know what I don't know. And it's such a scary feeling. I'm gonna bring somebody else in here in a minute for Shay, but Shay's getting ready to go take a plumbing exam in about a month.
All right.
Any words of advice?
do it.
Do
Pass it.
Do it now.
What an accomplishment. So really, congratulations. That's very exciting. And I love to know that people are continuing to go into the trades. You know, you can make such a wonderful life for yourself and your family. You know, we are essential, right? So we're definitely always going to be needed, as we've found out in today's crazy times. So, you know, good for you. Keep spreading the word. I do.
Yes. Says, don't let your phone ring when she is in training, though. She might break your neck or might wring your neck. There you go. Absolutely. That's what it's
Adam,
all
well,
about.
Adam knows. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, it is what it is. Well, Shay, number one, good luck. Thank you for everything that you do here, that you've done here. Hopefully we'll have a new van for you here in a week or two. I know I got 4 of them ordered. Pretty cool. All right, brother. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Steady up.
Tell them to send one of them boys in here. Missy, thank you for coming by. This is neat. Because in our videos all the time, I'm continuously talking about, you know, training, whether it is an apprentice that wants to get, or let's go back, whether it is somebody that wants to get into the trades, an apprentice that wants to get better, a journeyman that wants to get better, maybe even open his own company one day, or whether it's a plumbing company owner that wants to learn to grow, want to do more, to learn. Training is what it's all about. And I know that we've been in SGI for 2.5 years now or something like that. We've signed up for Learning Alliance just recently, and we're wanting to put, you know, these guys through all kinds of different training. But how big of the delta do you see in companies when they come in, and then after you've been with them, you know, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? Because there's companies that have been there a long, long time.
Right. And so, you know, everything's multifaceted, right? But training is a huge component to be successful, as well as when you spend time to train your employees and pour back into them. I mean, that's some of the things that when people go to different organizations, they're looking in a sense of, what can you do for me? I know what I can do for you by coming to work for you, right? But what will you do for me? And how will you keep me up and going and motivated and staying state of the art, right? So I know that training is, again, multifaceted, and it really pours back into your people, and it shows them that you care. As well as if you're taking the time to pour into your people to make sure that they are as successful as they can be out there, then in turn you're setting everybody up for success, even your customers, right? That you're not cutting corners, you're doing the job right, and that's so important.
And you know, part of my favorite thing about the training is it's not just, hey, here's what you do to do it right. It's here's how you do it. With the right coaches, it is here's how to do this part. Here's how to do this. Here's how to do this. But look, let's look at your overall system, and this is where you need to start. This is where, you know, this would be the first thing I would do. And, you know, I tell everybody after going through EP, it's like drinking water out of a fire hose. You walk in and like, okay, there's a million things I need to work on. I need to work on them right now. And y'all are real good about, okay, look, stop and breathe. Let's start here. Let's get this one done. Let's get this one done. Let's get this one done. And training is neat. Aaron actually just passed his tradesman exam.
Congratulations.
So congratulations
Very
to
good.
you. How much fun was it getting training and learning and going in for it?
Yeah, I mean, it's nerve-wracking a little bit. You hear all kinds of things about it, and you don't know exactly what to expect. I think I was looking through code and commentary and trying to look at standards, and I mean, it's relevant and it makes you better as a plumber. The test doesn't go in that level of depth for the most part. I mean, there are some things on there that I think are a little bit more challenging. And you really have to have taken extra time to learn it. And I know it because it's stuff that you just don't run into that commonly. I mean, because no one does every aspect of plumbing, any kind of plumber. You know, we're doing residential service, so things outside of that realm, they're a little harder for me. I just have to memorize it for an exam or, you know, hopefully just connect it to something I already knew to make it meaningful.
You know, and the neat thing, and it's what I like about having Missy come by today is, you know, we've talked to y'all about the SGI training and what we're wanting to do, and we've even looked at how maybe, you know, you and Julie can go to you know, one of the connects. Me and Amber go to a different one. That way we're all, it's hard for me to lose Amber and Julie for a week. It would be hard for them to lose me and Aaron for a week. So we're constantly looking at what we could do to make it better for everybody. Got a super chat here. It says, hey, Raj, love the channel. Congrats on the play button. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Neat thing, have you been recognized in public from YouTube, and has having your number on YouTube got you prank callers? And it's really funny because no, it hadn't got us prank callers. We get people that call and ask Amber questions about plumbing all day, every day. How do we fix this? How do we do this? How do we do this? Or, hey, I'd like to talk to Roger, and a lot of different things like that. So, you know, no, that part hadn't been bad. But yes, Julie and I went out to eat lunch a while back, and we were walking out to the car, and a young guy follows us out, and I hear, Roger, Roger. And I thought, okay, did I leave my phone, or did I leave something? And we turn around, and he comes walking up, and he says, oh, my God, I want you to know, I watch all your videos. I want to be a plumber. I'm in high school right now, but I watch all your videos. I'm learning about plumbing, learning everything I can, and just wanted to say thank you. So, man, to me, that part is just really, really cool. But as for the phone number up here, you know what? I get so many calls a week on my cell phone because people are like, well, hey, my real estate agent gave me your number, and I don't mind that at all. So I love it. So back to you, Missy.
Yes.
A new plumber. We need to get him through the first service technician course. Mm-hmm. What is the biggest mindset change you see in training? Because, you know, I go back to Jim Collins, Good to Great, says, you know, I don't want to train people because what if they leave? Well, the alternative is you keep them, you don't train them, they stay with you forever. I want to train all of our people. And Julie says she just answered a call from Atlanta. So, yeah, we get calls like this all the time. I've always wanted to train my people. Everyone, I mean, first time I met you, it's like, look, I love the training. I think it's phenomenal. What kind of a mindset do you see in technicians that come through? And, you know, I remember the day that you had Nick do his credibility statement. Just like, hey, Nick, you come on up here, let's do it. And boom, 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 because we've been talking to them about credibility statements. Mm-hmm. And my story about Nick is I go back to, we had just bought a computer from Best Buy. And it's funny because I met the Best Buy marketing director in San Diego. And he came up and says, oh, look, I follow you, I watch you, I love what you're doing. And I said, well, you're part of my story. He says, what do you mean? We went and bought a computer. And the guy comes up and says, what computer do y'all want? I don't know, we're thinking about this. And okay, figure out which one y'all want and let me know. And I'm like, man, if this guy would have walked up and says, hey, can I tell you why I work at Best Buy and what I really love about it? And what kind of computer are you looking for? How long should it last? I said, look, this guy could have sold me any computer in there because I would have bought in. And, you know, that's the way I try to explain it to the guys is look, training is huge and learning how to communicate is huge. How big of a mindset change do you see when guys come through the course?
So through SGI, going through Learning Alliance, which is like training university, right? So the biggest shift that I see from the beginning of class to the end of the class is really that the technicians go from, hey, I'm just a technician, to I'm a plumber. And the recommendations that I'm making for you are what are right and ethical and necessary to bring your home back to safe levels, right? Operating functionality, depending on what you're called out there for. But I really like to see how they come into their own because we have such a old stereotype, right, about who plumbers are. So setting ourselves apart from that old stereotype to, hey, we're here to help educate you to make those best decisions for you and your family. And to see that true paradigm shift when you give people the tools to be successful and there's many different ones that come into play in that, right? But to teach them that and show them the path how to be successful and to watch that shift by the end is, they come in class and they're more like this. They leave class and they're like, I got this, We do our Crown Champions every year. And, wow, this was crazy. It really kind of took me back for a minute. But a technician who's like, he was running, he's like, Missy. And he was running past me. He goes, I just wanted to say thank you so much because after Learning Alliance class that I took with you guys, he goes, I went from living in my car to I'm, $2 million in sales in less than a year. And I'm like, wow, you don't realize the impact that you have, but you give people the confidence and help them find it in themselves. Sky's the limit.
2 million in sales. And look, I've met technicians that are like, yeah, we do 1.2, 1.5, 1.8. And I'm like, what?
Amazing.
And it does. It blows my mind. Blows yours too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So my thing is I definitely want to get, and let's go back to Aaron Stone real quick. I want to get him into an operations manager course, a service manager course, something like that. Mm-hmm. What would be the first course? Because you've never worked for an SGI company, right? So you've never done any of them.
Okay.
Start out with the service training course, service technician course.
Yeah, go through the essential series and then the advanced, right? Because if you're looking at it from a standpoint of service manager, operations manager, something of management level like that, you want to start with what all your technicians are learning because you have to know what to hold them accountable for.
Sure.
So if you don't know what that experience and process looks like, then how can you really hold them accountable? So starting there with the basics, then kind of building in from there. And then, yes, there are many different leadership classes that we offer as well, depending on what you're kind of looking for at that time, what that next pain point is, and work through it.
So that's what you'll be getting to do next.
Sounds good.
Start looking at the training. I know. And, unfortunately, the one this year is in Orlando. Sorry to say, where's the one next year? Never mind. I know better. Won't know till Orlando. But, yeah, it's neat because you get to go. Part of my favorite part about it is networking and meeting other plumbers, Chase and Dustin and Ricky and getting to talk to them. But meeting plumbers from across the nation. I've got friends in Florida now, Washington State, California.
Canada.
It's a neat
right,
Canada, yeah. I think we just signed up one in Hawaii recently, didn't we? So it's pretty neat. You got any questions for Missy?
None that I can think of. Interested to take the class though.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And the service classes, the technician classes, they're online. They're virtual right now, right? Can we go and do those, or are y'all doing those in person?
So we're offering both. The more you'll get more out of being in person. I mean, that's for anybody with any type of class that you ever take, right? You get more out of being there. You're more engaged in it. But we do both of them currently.
Cool.
And next week is Expo.
Expo Orlando next week. SGI.
So excited.
I love it. I know. So cool. All right. Aaron, brother, I appreciate it. I'm so glad you're here. It has been fun to watch you come in, talk to you, watch you come in today, surprised that we could actually clean the shop as much as we did over the weekend.
It looked great. Man.
Did a pretty good job. Brother, but I appreciate it. I love the fact that you've jumped in, great attitude, and you really make it where I don't have to worry about that end of it as much. That helps me focus more on the social media. But, man, I appreciate your help.
My pleasure. Now look forward to the future.
Me too. All right. Tell Mr. Ben to come in and say hello to us.
All right, we'll do.
So I love that you talked about, you know, a service technician doing $2 million a year in sales. I remember the first time, and we talk about there was a young man on stage who did 1.2 million. He was from California, Mike
Council.
Yeah, great dude, was phenomenal salesman. He talked about it. He explained it. Everything was wonderful. Oh, did he? Okay. Send Dustin back in, since he was the last one to get here. So watching him and talking to him and man, realizing, look, it's just an attitude. It's a presentation skill. You learn to come in, you talk to people, you learn to listen to people, which is, you know, something that we did through the Sandler sales training program. And it's just, it's really cool that, you know, training is such a big deal. Now, you know, Dustin is in here now. And did you go through a lot of the SGI training when you were at Baker Brothers?
No.
No? Okay. But I know you do a lot of the training.
So I was doing the training. They let me kind of have free reign of what I wanted to come up with. I knew that the stuff was there and available, and during our Wednesday meetings, which is kind of the company-wide meeting, they go over a few things, but as far as the communication aspect stood, that was what I did. And then the apprentice training was more of a hands-on.
Hands-on, you bet. And I think that's neat. I know that SGI has a White Settlement. What's the technician training company that's part of the group? The vendor, service technician training.
So there's many different ones out there. We don't have one per se with SGI's name on it.
But it was a vendor that they spoke at one of the events a couple of years ago. God, it may not even be that long. Anyway, I think they were just doing HVAC training at the time. But they'd bring them in and teach them a few skills. I think they were actually bringing in veterans, maybe two. Remember that?
Gotcha.
I don't remember who it was.
So, Ultimate Tech, Perfect Tech.
There you go.
There's many different, academies out there that you can go to for that training to kind of get you that start, right? Get your feet wet. And then, because there are so many different areas of plumbing that you can do, then you can learn from there. Where am I going to specialize? And drain cleaning and so forth like that. There's lots of opportunity for wherever you want to specialize for sure.
And in Texas, drain cleaning is a great place to start because you can get out, learn to deal with customers, learn communication skills, learn your very beginnings. And, in Texas, you can, as an apprentice, get your drain cleaners certification, your utility installers, a lot of different things like that. But, at the end of the day, I think every one of us agree that, training is probably one of the biggest parts that separate those of us that really, really want to do well.
Yeah. Something that I had to identify because I got a 4-truck company and I was doing terrible. And I was very nervous in people's houses because if you give a price for $3,500, it was probably more cash than I had ever seen at one point in time, more than I had made in a month. So whenever I tell somebody it's going to be, $10,000, gosh, I would never get those jobs because, I didn't know I wasn't making a connection. So that was very tough for me. So I had to figure out what I was doing wrong, number one, and then number two, how do I correct it? So it was like I had to figure something out or I was not going to feed my family. The guy sat across the desk and he said, do you want to lose your job? If you get one more negative Angie's List review, you're done. And it was that day, it was like, oh my God, here's some books, read these. And I, started to devour anything that I could. But that was the training. It wasn't something that they forced me into, that or lose your job. But you had to figure something out pretty quickly.
And Missy, I guess it's kind of hard sometimes to get, and it's a great mindset because, the biases are, look, I'm just a plumber. I'm just a plumber. And, I say that all the time. Look, I'm just a plumber. But it's a mindset that some people, they never get over. And they're like, look, I cannot tell somebody they've got to spend $50,000 to fix their plumbing. It doesn't make sense to me. And the way that I put it to my guys is, look, we did not cause that problem. We are being honest with them and telling them exactly what the issues are. We can prove it. We can show them pictures. We can verify it. But there's other plumbing companies out there that are going to charge them 5 times this or twice this or whatever and not do it right. They're going to halfway do the job. How do you get a young plumber? Because that's mostly the ones we're training and trying to bring up. But how do you get them to understand, look, at the end of the day, we're providing a valuable service to people for a fair price. And this is how you get over that mindset. Because it's a good way to look at it. It's really tough for a lot of people to say, man, I just can't tell them that it's this much to do this.
Well, they have to believe in what they do, first and foremost, right? And you're also dealing with the health of the nation, truly. So, I mean,
I know she should be a
Get
plumber.
her, you know
I know, I
you
love her.
tried.
I love her. I love. Why do you think she's here, brother?
But yeah, I mean, they have to understand that they are making a person's household a better place, safer place to be. Are we talking every job is $50,000? Oh my goodness, no. That's a large repipe, or that could be, a reline, or not even reline, just a total replacement, not to scare anybody along those lines. But if you're going to go out there and estimate a job of that size ticket, you've got to be able to put your money where your mouth is, so to speak, and say, this is why, and explain that why, and show them everything that you're going to do for them, and then how you're going to take care of them.
Something I had to figure out as well is if it was over my head, then I asked for help. I wasn't too proud to do that. Hey, let's bring someone else in who, I am very capable of taking care of this, but I'd like to have a second set of eyes. And that reassures people to know that, hey, now I'm the guy that comes out, the senior tech, to say, hey, this is exactly what's taking place, and what he found is exactly what's going on. So this is how we're going to proceed.
And that's a good way to look at it is, and we teach our plumbers too, look, if you've got something that you're unsure about, don't feel like you can't call Roger or Aaron or even one of the other plumbers. And, we talked about this earlier. Ricky can call you. He doesn't work at the same company you do. Ricky's called me. Me and you've talked about jobs and different things. It's a neat thing to know that, look, we've got a community that we can talk with. And that's one thing I like about SGI. And I want to make somebody who's got a comment here. It says, does anyone know the name of the conference being held in Orlando? Yeah, it's called Connect, but you've got to be an SGI member to actually attend it, because there's a lot of great training that goes on during that 3 days. But, anybody wants to find out about SGI, reach out to me and put you in touch with Missy and help you. Thank you, sir. The neat thing about it, though, is, and Missy teaches at it, she does a lot of the plumbing sessions or maybe moderates the plumbing session depending on what she's doing. But, you are very good about working with CCRs, CSRs, call centers, incoming calls, outbound calls, training. It's phenomenal. And, Dustin, let me ask you this. Have you ever spent a day in the office listening to the dispatchers and the call takers and all this? Because that's something I want all our people to at least cross-train to hear it and see it.
So I've never done it, but I know that each and every one of the girls, they keep a mirror.
Or guys.
Or
So
guys. Yeah, she
whoever-
just busted you.
So, sorry.
Or guys.
So what they do, make sure that they have a mirror. So I can tell the difference whenever, because I call to the office. I won't call the dispatch. I'll call the office and say, hey, may I speak to? Hello, whatever company. So, ooh, you weren't smiling. And it's like, who is this? It's like, it's Dustin. It makes me feel so much better. Like when they are smiling, you can tell. Hey, it makes me feel so good to know that you're smiling whenever you answered the phone. May I speak to? It's like, oh my gosh, stop. But it really does make a difference. So I understand the process and how everything works, the questions that are asked strategically, and how the process goes. But spending an entire day, I haven't been able to do it.
It's something I think is great. Aaron, can you tell when Amber's smiling?
All the time.
Yeah, and you know what? You're pretty much right.
Yeah.
Amber pretty much does smile all the time. That was probably a bad one to ask because you're right. She does.
Happy and chipper every day.
It's yeah, she is. She's really good. But Aaron, look, I want to take a second and say thank you. I appreciate everything you do around
you.
here, helping number one make us get better, but it helps us all do what we can do, and you've done a great job here.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, well, step out there and tell them to send somebody in. But hey,
All right.
I do appreciate it.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you, sir. So here's the cool thing is, I mean, we talk about how networking is great, and even at SGI at the conferences, you know, one of the greatest things is being in the hallways, outside of the sessions, later in the restaurant or the bar or visiting, and learning that there's a lot of different people from around the country that do different things. How we doing, man?
Good.
So do you know Missy?
I don't. I just met her out there. Nice to meet you.
So
Yep,
Missy, do
nice
you
to
know
meet you.
Dustin? I mean, have y'all?
We've met past. It's been a while.
Okay.
I've taught at your location.
Yes, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
very familiar with SGI.
And I've been
Yep.
there.
I didn't know that
Exactly.
she worked for them. I thought that she worked with you. I was asking her about how you manicured your mustache. That if somebody did that professionally for you.
I'll
or
do
that
a
was-
private class on that later just for you, Chase. Man, we can teach you how to get that beard all trimmed up, nice, neat. and
You
slick.
may ask Julie too. She could probably help with some pointers.
You
It
know,
was great
what-
to meet you. I was listening out there, and I think all of SGI is a really jam-up organization. I think you do a good job of being the face of it, especially here. She sounds really good at it.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just one of the.
She's
I'm
my-
a happy
she's my
coach
face
there.
of it.
Yeah, yeah. As far as right here, it looks good. I liked everything that she was talking about as far as the training.
And you know, you've been through all the SGI training then through Baker Brothers before, right?
I've been through all of it, man. I've also done the other side, Nexstar, as well. I think it's all
The
fun.
other guys.
Yeah, the other
the
side.
other
You know, I think the
people.
most important thing is that we're all trying, whether it's secular, like in those two groups, but I think ultimately as a whole, our plumbing industry for sure is taking a huge leap. And just in my career, you know, from 2012, you know, to now, I can see how serious that we all really are about becoming more as a trade and more as the people that we are in the trade. And you can look around and see that, just like, you know, on what a plumber looks like as far as now to before. You know?
Yeah, and it's something we talked about earlier, you know, about the biases or the fact that, you know, some people, once they get their license, they're like, that's it, I'm done, I'm good. And the training stops. I know, I see that look on your face. But I mean, I know so many plumbers that, other than continuing education, and how much training is that? Oh, wait, this is a positive show, isn't it?
I mean, I take a lot of that on us as leaders, though, and that's why I do think I see a good thing as far as like with having these groups that are pushing for us. I mean, a lot of guys, like I said, we don't want to ever turn out bad work. I mean, no matter what you do, you're taking time away from your family. This is not an easy trade, you know. We're putting our hands in the dirt, you know, and that's where we're getting our money from every day. A lot of times these guys, I think, are just not being pushed to that area, you know, by their peers, by whoever the guys are that are training in them, the companies. So that is something I think that will change organically, if you will, as we all continue to level up. And that's one thing you'll learn about higher thinking people and higher, you know, when people start being really successful, is that we all kind of keep leveling up over each other, and that no one really ever holds the crown for too long, and that's what makes it kind of beautiful. But that being said, as that top is being risen, so is the bottom. So I think like a lot of that stuff is kind of being just organically trained out of our trade, which is what we want in 100 years, for that guy to be non-existent, really.
Yeah, and I like that because, you know, there is a training and it does change. And back to the SGI, you know, it's almost different people up there every year, the technicians, because, you know, one technician will go to a class and learn something and he's like, wow, I can do this. And, you know, John Schulman, it's like, he's like, wow, I came and watched and I saw somebody and thought, I'm doing that next year. And the next year he was on stage.
I want to be that guy.
You bet.
For sure.
I want to be that guy. And, you know, we were talking about that earlier. And that's what I like about these guys is, you know, every one of us, you could ask each one of us, what do you want? I want to be the best plumber I can be. And that doesn't mean I want to be better than Dustin or better than Chase. It means I want to be the very best I can be. And
for your customers,
You,
right?
you bet.
know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean-
and it's not for me. It's not a personal
Right.
thing.
Well, yes, it starts there.
No, it's the attitude. You bet. We've got to
But
have
that
that
expertise you
Right. I
bring
hate
for
to
your
disagree.
customers.
You know,
It's
but
like no
I
other.
do believe with what she says. I mean, it does start as something that you have to start to believe. You know, like you said, for yourself, it's all about what you believe. You know, we have these things in our hands as top techs in the field, as far as what we offer to our company and our customers in our hands long before the day that we actually get to hold it in our hands. We're dreaming about it. We're training about what it is to be the best, service guy that's ever walked in their house. We're seeing ourselves in that position. We're seeing ourselves whenever we're not becoming that guy, and how we can do it on the next call. So it's a really beautiful thing once you start to look at it that way, and that's whenever jobs start to turn from jobs to careers and to a passion.
Hey, I'll tell you what. If I'm going to have a service person come in and work in my home, I want them to be confident. I want them to be knowledgeable,
Yes.
and I want them to teach me about it. Because otherwise, if they come in head hanging down, what all are they hiding from?
So the
Right?
educational process, that's what I love, right? This is how this works. And like you mentioned an anode rod or something. A what? Sacrificial metal. And you start in with that. And as soon as I'm finished installing a water heater, these are absolutely every one of the parts, and this is what they do, and this is how it all functions together. Awesome. Educational process.
And talking about educational process, what things in MX, MER, Mexmer, what things should I focus on learning the trades? I'm in tech school in plumbing. I'm still in 10th grade, so I have 3 more years before I can start an apprenticeship. Man, my thing is, focus on the education part. Focus on learning everything you can. And I say that, I was an instructor in a union, and you get guys that come to the class or come to the training, and y'all have probably seen it too in the training that y'all do. You get ones that come in all the time, and it's over and over, and they're not there to learn. I just want to be a plumber. I just want the check. I don't care what I learn.
Yeah, you get that a lot in sales trainings that are like forced throughout techs. So like if we have like a certain training that's where guys that aren't hitting protocol are having to go to that's going to be something that half of the guys there are just going to not want to learn stuff.
And education's huge.
Yeah, it is.
So as far as what you're learning, especially in the 10th grade, soak every bit of that stuff in. You'll have some hands-on stuff later, but intermittently throughout your hands-on training, definitely look into some communication training.
That's what I was just going to say, especially with you being in that situation where you're being taught the trade stuff that early. I've always said that that mechanically, like those are some of the cheapest skills in the game that we're all going to kind of get as far as our time in the trade. We're all going to learn mechanically how to be sound, if you're worth your sand, right? But those little things that you can do, which is working on your communications. I mean, even if you're going to be in an industry, if you're going to be like in new construction or something, take no doubt that every bit of communication and confidence that I have in myself works throughout my life, not just in my ability to sell a call, but my ability to, to be a good employee. All around your communication skills are going to be what puts you everywhere in life. So I'm with Dust on that 100%. Anything you can do to learn how to be more confident about who you are and how to, get that across to people is a great thing to learn.
So, Missy, if you had a son in high school that says, hey, Mom, look, I want to be a plumber when I get out, because you see it from a different way probably, what would you think he would need to focus on?
She wouldn't do like
she'd be like, don't be a
mom,
plumber.
right?
Sitting in the Baker Brothers.
Just call Jimmy Dale. Go over and get an education, boy. What do you think at the age of 10 up? I mean, communication skills to me are huge, but we really don't learn that in high school, or we don't think we do.
Well, so we think that. I think it has a lot to do. It starts with your upbringing, right? But it is probably one of the biggest things to become an effective communicator is you will learn more by listening first. So seek first to understand, then to be understood by Covey. But be a good listener, because when you ask your customer what's wrong and you ask them to tell you what's going on, are you willing to listen so you can help them, or are you trying to answer before they can get their
Are you already
sentence
figuring
out?
out what the problem is?
Right. So first, really hone in on your communication skills, listening to others. You'll learn the the trade side of it in time, right? And turning wrenches and all that good stuff. But right now, the best thing that you can do is work on that service heart and be the best that you can, because
challenging
in
yourself.
every aspect of your life, because that's everything will flow through that, I believe.
I like that.
So, and Missy, I'm going to bring Ricky back in here to finish this thing up. But SGI, we had the guy ask about the conference in Orlando. You've got to be an SGI member to attend. But SGI really, and look, I've gone in for Rebecca's leadership training. I love the fact that we get to talk to, we were talking earlier about the community that we've built here in Texas. And, SGI's got that community built nationwide. We get to, and going to leadership training is great. I mean, you're with roofers, electricians, and other people, and they're like, wow, have you ever tried this? Or have you ever done this? And, going back to one of the comments earlier, I walked in SGI at Grapevine, and, it says, have you ever been recognized out? I walk in Connect last year, and I'm walking through, and Hendrix from Hendrix Service here says, he's like, oh my God, you're here. And I'm like, yeah, it's Connect. I'm here. He's like, no, you're here. And it's like,
It's you.
I know. And I'm like, well, last time I checked, yeah, it's me. And he's like, oh my gosh. He says, I watch your videos. Then it clicked.
And you love that.
I
He
know,
does.
I know.
It's like, oh, stop.
You know what I did? Hey,
Let's take a picture
I picked
together.
up my phone and I called Dustin and said, guess what, man? Another one recognized me.
Another one.
I love the camaraderie, the networking, the things like that. How much does that really help a company getting into SGI that, knows nothing? When we came in, we knew nothing about training. And then, other than me being a teacher, but to learn the skill sets of listening, of sales, of communications, and uniforms and vehicles, and why you should try to brand yourself as the best plumbing company there is.
So here's the way that I kind of view that. Of, not all of your plumbers go to college and learn how to run a business.
Some do.
They'll go into a trade. Some do, right? Right. But we've got a lot that go straight into trucks, and they battle for a long time because they don't know how to run their books. They don't know how to be priced right. They don't know what all these other, they know how to turn wrenches and do it really well. They don't know all these other business aspects. So that's where SGI helps you do that. I'll tell you, for owners, it's lonely at the top. But if you go somewhere like the independent contractor for like SGI brings together, then it's great because now you have business owners coming together, sharing best practices from across the United States, Canada. It doesn't have to be lonely out there, and you don't have to struggle. Go through that with people doing the same thing that you are day in and day out. And it makes life so much easier, and the fight is so much smaller.
And as far as like from a personnel a standpoint, because I've worked at companies that don't do that as much, it's completely evident in your workforce too, whether you like it or not. Whether your guys are trained up under an SGI or some type of, we can see it as other guys going to those companies, and the guys that are being trained like that on an everyday are just they're coming into the game like Ricky, and ready to rock.
Tell me to turn my phone off.
Sure. The guys showing up at a service call that are right next to you, and you see them in shorts and flip-flops with a T-shirt on with a hole in it, rundown van with mud all over it, definitely says something different about us that show up in a nice, clean
No
uniform.
logo, no name, no nothing on the van.
So that's just even from the outside looking in, from a plumber to plumber standpoint or handyman, whatever they may
we
be.
can tell each other whenever we see if we're a company if we're a part of a company who cares about training and who cares about being on that next echelon. We can see each other in a part house and know each other different.
Exactly.
And that's something that we carry around, which is why
People have standards.
Which is why it's important to be putting that into people as much as possible. Is because, like I said, that's something that I carry around with me all day, every day. Is that I am going to be the best available plumber that you better believe this side of the Mississippi, anyways. So.
Well, the neat thing is, look, we all understand training. We think it's huge, And I think that most of the companies that do get into SGI want to be the best plumbing company. It's like, look, I compete with these guys in the fact that we all want to be the best. And I think that it makes us all better. Cool. And I've gone over and met Gus and sat down and talked to him. And he says, look,
those guys are the best, too.
I
mean, so the other guys would be silly for not trying to learn what they're doing. The same way that Gus and them would be silly for not listening for new ways to be better at what they're doing.
Oh, God, Gus is teaching me.
I mean,
he ain't learning
but
from me.
But it helps. Just like in our smaller niche or just our plumbing community, it's literally the same thought process. We're just doing it in a much, broader base on those groups and stuff. We're just training each other about how to expect to be better every day, and that's kind of what they're doing. The guys that are more experienced, we're gaining from teaching these other guys because of just being there, So it's it just all runs down.
It's pretty cool.
Beautiful thing, right?
Well, Missy, I know you've got work to do.
I do.
I really do appreciate you coming by.
Good to see you, Missy.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you
too.
so much.
Yeah,
I really am.
100,000.
I'm so glad you came by.
All right.
Y'all brought the cake on and everything?
No, yeah, we brought it on earlier.
Were there 100,000
Man, I hope y'all have already
candles?
cut it and getting some.
Y'all blew the candles and everything?
Julie keeps on trying to offer me some, and I don't do sugar.
Send in one more there, Will. So we got a question here. It says, hey, Chase and Roger. They don't want to know your answer. So it says, hey, Chase and Roger, would you advise against job hopping to find out the right company to work with and to learn from? I can't seem to find a company with the passion you guys have. I'm a wannabe electrician. Well, there's a problem right there.
There you go, man.
Wants
That's
to be
your
an
problem.
electrician. I mean, man.
Yeah, that's you got to shoot for the stars, and you might miss and still be an electrician.
So let's turn around. Dustin, what do you think about job hopping?
Job hopping, I'm not a fan of it. I'd like to find somewhere to grow. I have been very long term with the majority of the companies I've been with, and there's always something that you can learn there, right? But if you feel like you need to go from spot to spot and you're improving your environment every time, more power to you. But if you find something that I do before I go in to work for someone is I look at their Google reviews, right? And I'm not just a consumer going to have them in my house, but I'm going to be that guy in their house. So whenever I go through and I see that there's some weird stuff happening and I wonder what the story is on that, I want to be for a good company. I want to work for the right person. So do a little bit of research yourself too. Figure out what you think and talk to the guys. If you see them at your local electric supply, talk to them. Hey, do they treat you good? Do you guys have this? Do you have that? Do y'all do trainings? And that's awesome for me because I still see guys like, hey man, how do they treat you over there? Oh, it's great. I love it. We do this and we have steaks quarterly, and the owner comes out and cooks for us or whatever it is. So ask people, talk to them, network.
Yeah. So while I got y'all in here, I want to announce something here. Don't know if y'all know what this is here. Don't know if y'all have ever seen this logo or anything.
Look at you.
Ferguson.
Just letting everybody know, we now have an official sponsor on the channel.
Come on.
Looky there. Want to make sure
That's
everybody
it.
saw that.
Yeah.
So.
Mention Roger Wakefield, you get 25% off.
Well, I don't know if it'll be 25%, but we're going
At any
have to figure
Ferguson
something
local.
out.
Elite
See,
AP, the expert plumber on your next order.
Ferguson, we're paying Roger now.
Yes, absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Congratulations,
Thank you,
man.
brother.
That's awesome.
It's really a neat deal because, you and I've talked about making videos and how to get that information out there and people watching. I wanted to announce that real quick, but I want to go back to this. What do you think about job hopping? And I mean,
Man, what do I think about
from
it,
your
or
point of
what
view-
have I lived in my life? That's you never want to be job hopping, because
You would be that
by
guy.
thought, But I will say one thing, I was, like I said, with Dustin most of my apprenticeship, and then he had left to come to Baker Brothers. Well, I didn't follow him in that footsteps immediately. So in that time, man, I pretty much would work wherever I thought I could make the most amount of money. I was a little bit of an older apprentice, and I had a lot of skills, and I've always been a kind of person that's hard for me to sit back whenever I know that I can do more. So, man, I've been trying to think about that question. I want to tell you, yeah, stay where you're at. But then there's guys that I talk to all the time that I say, man, why are you where you are if it doesn't make you feel some type of way about the trade? So I'm gonna go against my better judgment of telling you not to hop around. I'm gonna say, man, you be you, and let everyone else adjust to who you are as far as the trade is concerned. You always got to do your part, and make sure that you're not the reason why you're bouncing around. You need to be going places that are firing you up to go to work every day. And if they're not, and you're not the problem, then you need to find that place.
Well, that falls on them at that point. You know what I mean? They got to be meticulous about where they're going to work.
Sure.
Something that like I always heard is like, when you're interviewing, you're not just being interviewed, you're interviewing them too. And like, it's big that you don't just start a job and think, oh, I can quit, if I don't like it here. That's how you get people who are places 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and or like 6 plumbing companies.
Sure, and you don't really get the confidence to feel that way inside of a meeting room though until how long into your career. I mean, at some point as an apprentice, we're taking what we can get. And at a certain point also, and I think we've done it in our careers, we've outgrown smaller companies that aren't pushing us personally and professionally. That's the most important thing to me right now in my career, in my life. Always is that my friends, my family, and most importantly, my company is pushing me to be a better man and plumber every single day.
Yep.
So if you don't feel like you're being pushed that by your friends, by your circle, by your company, then there are people out there that are trying to be the very best, and you need to go find them.
Yeah, and I like that you put it that way because, and it was David Goggins talking about it in one of the deals I watched a while back. He says, look, if you're in a room full of mediocre plumbers,
yep,
and you're the best one, you're like, dude, I'm amazing.
Yeah.
Bishop T.D. Jakes had a sermon once that said, if you're the smartest person in your crowd, then your crowd is too low.
Yeah,
True.
yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's true. You need to be definitely the guy that has to work hard to be in that group of people you're in. And that's something that I've always put myself in from day one. I wanted to be a part of the upper echelon of service techs, and I knew that as a first-year plumber in the field, that was going to require something extra of me that maybe they weren't going to have to give. And I had to realize that every day whenever I woke up that it was going to require more of me. I was going to take longer. I was going to make mistakes, but that I would always wake up to go another round.
So and before I jump over Ricky, I saw Big John jump in. You do it. Big John, tell Sherry I said hello. I saw the comment a while ago. His wife's amazing. Great person. I love these people you meet at these conferences and summits and things like that. Big John I actually met over here at the Gaylord Texan a couple of years ago, and we actually went and had dinner with Nick Nimmin. A neat deal. Ricky, what do you think about not just plumbers, but technicians that jump around, whether it be plumbers or apprentices and stuff like that? When I was in the union, I probably changed jobs every 2 to 4 years. And people say, dude, why are you leaving? It's like, well, I'm not leaving. People are paying me to go.
Yeah.
Because I was a superintendent. I could run $20 million jobs, and there's not a lot of those in the union. And so I'd have companies call and say, hey, look, I've got to have you.
Yeah.
Either the general contractor's asking for you or you have a skill set that we need. But residential service is a little bit different. There's a lot of plumbers bounce around a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a call the other day for a referral. Says, hey, I'm calling to verify employment for a plumber. Would you hire him? And I had received 5 calls on that same plumber this year already. And it's like,
Roger said, yeah.
I said, wait, what's the name of your company? Oh, yeah, I'd hire him. No, it was actually, it was a friend that called that spoke with us in Austin.
Okay.
So I'm just like, man, look, I'm going to be honest with you. Here's my thoughts.
And I have those guys. That happens to me, too. Hey, would you hire this guy?
I
love that guy.
You may have dialed the wrong number. Yeah. So, Ricky, what do you think as an apprentice when you see these plumbers that bounce around a lot? I mean, you've talked about this before.
Yeah, we have, absolutely.
What do you think about these plumbers that you see that, they're here for 2 months, then they're there for 2 months?
Yeah. Well, I think it just depends on what's your definition of job hopping. Like you were saying, like if you're staying somewhere like a year or two, you know what I mean? Like you've put in your time to tell whether that's the place for you or not. We see a lot of people that come in, they're here for a week, they're here for 2 weeks, they're here for a month, and then they're on to the next. You see people, their applications full of like I was, from 2011 to 2011, I was here. And from 2011 to 2011, just, 6 places in 1 year, that's probably, even if, there's reasons behind it, it looks bad. You know what I mean? And when I was plumbing originally, I always thought, like, if I'm going somewhere, because I was sure of where I was going, I'm staying at least a year. You know what I mean? And just going to see what I do there, unless something horrible happens. You know what I mean? But if there's people, they're at 6 places in 1 year, the problem's probably not those places.
Yeah,
I agree. So,
And every company that you were at, they were the problem.
Yeah, and we all see those plumbers come in and out of our companies all the time.
Man, I can't work there for that guy. It ain't happening.
I know.
And when I was over at the other one, they did the same thing. Well,
and man, everybody's doing things wrong. If they would listen to me,
yes,
it'd all be perfect.
the foremost expert in companies.
I think it also depends on what kind of an impact are you making on those companies whenever you're there. You know what I mean? Are you the guy that's just barely showing up? So it varies from job to job and from I think situation to situation. But most of the time, if you see a guy that's going to a bunch of jobs all the time, then it's not gonna work.
Well, that's probably someone who's just looking to take from it and not put anything into it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Givers and takers.
Yep.
And if you're giving too much, then I get it. You're taking too much, then you can't do that either.
And that's it. A lot of people, it's all about them 100%. There is no give. It's just take. I'm gonna close this thing out here in just a minute. Ricky, have you had fun today?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Did you learn anything?
Yes, sir. Always.
Not to hang out with 3 of us, right?
Absolutely.
That's kind of what I figured. You know how even brother it is what it is.
So he had 3 pieces of cake out there in the lobby.
Did he?
He's got a sugar rush.
I know. I told Will I wanted a piece of cake. Will said, yeah, Ricky ate the cake. I was like, wait, dude, what? Ricky, I love to see a young apprentice come up, want to learn, and want to learn to do better. And it's the reputation you've got. It's the reputation you're getting, and you're going to do really good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're going to do really good.
Proud of you.
Now get out of here.
Thank you.
Now get out of here. Next, Dustin, brother. I'm going to save you for last. So, Chase?
I think he dismissed you.
Yeah, I did. I'm fixing to dismiss you too. So yeah, it ain't no big deal. Chase, I've heard a lot of good things about you.
Yeah.
I love your attitude. I love your videos. I love the work that you're doing.
Yeah, check me out on Facebook.
What's the name of your Facebook? Matter of fact, hey, tell Ricky come back in here real quick. I ain't done with him.
I have a Facebook group, so it's a worldwide collection of plumbers called Plumbers Professional Community. And then you can find me on Facebook. It's Passion Turns to Profit with Chase Laws.
Passion turns to profit.
Always, brother. Every day.
And it goes back to Gary Vee. We're talking about the motivational people we listen to. If you chase the money, you're never going to get it.
No. The money has to be a part of the prize. So that's just something that comes with it whenever you're really stretching and you're reaching and clawing to be the best of whatever you're going to be. I don't care if you're going to be a baker. You know what I mean? Passion and that's going to bring profit to you as a baker. So
You've been eating that cake, ain't you?
Yeah. So
I'm telling you, she's
that's
good.
That's what it's all about, making sure you care.
I know Trish Harris was in here a while ago. She's the one who made the cakes. And I'm going to go back and put a link into her Facebook page or something like that because I'm telling you what, she did a great job. So what's the name of your Facebook group again?
Professional Plumbers Community.
Okay. Just wanted to let y'all know that. All right, go ahead and get out of here. I got to ask Ricky
thanks, guys.
question out,
Appreciate it.
Thank you. So here, slide over here. There you go. See, now I can just focus like on one camera and got all 3 of us. You're in trouble.
Uh-oh.
What's the name of your Facebook group?
Plumbers Network Texas.
Okay, I wanted to get you in here to give you the opportunity. Tell everybody again. I'm giving you a hard time. You ain't in trouble.
Come on.
Man, you too big. I'll get whooped. So
you got that one wrong.
No. Man, you're doing good things. So I wanted to make sure you came in and told people again. Any plumbers still in the group or any plumbers in here, jump over, check out his Facebook page, and man, you're doing good stuff.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. No, thank you. Dustin, man.
Hey, man, congratulations.
How are you? Thank you, sir.
I'm awesome.
Did you see the silver play button and all?
So everybody showed me. The cake is awesome. All the cookies are awesome. And your deal that you have with Ferguson, man, I am super happy. I love Ferguson.
Me too. They've been good people. We've been talking to them for a while. Hit the wrong camera there. Been talking to them for a while. Man, we're going to be doing some neat stuff and looking forward to it. And they've got a lot of things that they're working on nationwide that, man, I wish I could talk about it because it's going to be
Can
good
you
for
give
the
us a
trades.
little something? Just a little. Just give us a little. We
It's
need a little.
it's something you're going to want to get involved in.
Okay.
Man, and I mean that's it's they are looking for ways to do great things for plumbers in a certain way, and that's really about as far as I can go with it. Now we had some cool people out here today.
Everybody was awesome.
It's pretty neat, wasn't it?
I think this is awesome.
You know, if you'd told me, I'm going to say a year ago or 2 years ago, I see you do it. Put Big John put up another super chat there. You know, if you'd have told me even 6 months ago, Roger, number one, your channel would be as big as it is at this date, I'd have said you're drinking, which we've done together before.
Yeah.
Water, of course.
Of course.
But the cool thing about it is, you know, Chase, Ricky, you, me, we all want to help other plumbers. Not just, it's not all about me. It's not all about you.
There's some days where I feel like it's all about me, but it's definitely not.
Well, you know what? There are some days it's got to be. I mean, you know, you and your wife just bought a new house.
Absolutely. Well, we sold one. That's
no,
for
you
sure.
sold one, but you also looked for another one, and it was because it's all about you. It's all about protecting your family, and doing things that you got to do. Speaking of protecting your family, I mean, I'm hoping that my little buddy Wyatt get some cookies. I mean, I tell you what, I ordered extra cookies, Wyatt, just so Dad could bring you some cookies.
Bring you a poop emoji one.
A poop emoji. Wait. He may want. Hey, who's his favorite plumber?
Definitely Roger.
You know, yeah. Until his daddy said, "Wait a minute," so you know I'm a plumber too.
Said, hang on. He said, "Can we watch Roger on YouTube again?"
I love that. I love that. I want to say hello to Big John. You do it. Glad that I made sure his day. I saw the comment earlier, John. I couldn't get over there quick enough. But I definitely do appreciate you and Sherry both and everything y'all do. Did you have fun today?
I had a blast, man. I really did.
It's a little bit different than just a Facebook. It's a little bit different than just making a video. Got some great people jumping in here, so it's been really fun.
I think your team is awesome too. The team that you have around you, you have
my God.
Will, Grayson, Julie,
Amber
up in the front. Meeting your guys and getting to see them all in here, everybody happy. Your place is awesome, but I think what you're doing is awesome.
Well,
I'm glad that you and I are friends.
You bet.
And my son is really excited to know somebody famous.
Who, you?
Stop it.
Don't know who it is,
Stop
brother. Hey, tell him, say, look, Roger's just a plumber.
Right, he's just a plumber, just like us.
Just a plumber. So, you know, I'm really excited that I said, hey, would you be interested in doing that? Because you're the one I reached out to first.
Absolutely.
And you said yes. And I'm like, okay, then you know what? I'm going to call a couple other people. Man, I really do appreciate you coming over, spending your time today.
Yeah, we moved around some closing stuff.
I love it.
At the title company so that we could facilitate being here, even though I was a little bit late. But I thank you so much for having me.
You know what? I'm late half the time here anyway. All right, brother. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you coming by.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So,
you gonna stick this up?
you know, yeah, we'll end up finding a spot up on the shelf for me. I've had some people ask if I would show the button again. So, you know, this is it. Actually, I'm probably prop that up right here. I know the reflection. Well, you might try turning one of those lights down. That might be it. That helped a little bit. I'll actually stick it right over here. Yeah, the thing is, it's silver, it's shiny, and if I line it up just right, y'all can almost see Will right there in the reflection. I'm trying to do it the other way, so maybe not. Anyway, guys, here's the play button. Those of y'all that have not been here before, man, it's normally not this crazy, but normally I don't get the opportunity to have other people on here. It was so wonderful to have Missy Jones jump in from SGI. Missy is my plumbing coach over there. Love having her, and you know the whole SGI community. It's been great for our company, learning a lot of things that we've had to learn. Any of y'all want to learn more about it, reach out to me, and I'll definitely get in touch with you. I saw that we had Jeff in here earlier, Jeff Stroud. Man, great guy. It was so neat because I got to catch his live yesterday. He was actually out at one of the box stores looking for tools on sale. He does some great things. I want to say thank you to Trish Harris, phenomenal baker, cookies. She did a cake. Y'all saw it earlier. If not, go back to the beginning, check it out. That looks like the play button. It was fantastic. Pretty cool. If y'all hadn't been here before, look, like I said, it's normally not this crazy. We talk about plumbing. We have fun. We get to do a lot of good things. But I couldn't do it without Will Rosebrock and Grayson Poirier, without Julie Wakefield and Amber Mendoza, Aaron Stone, Aaron Legayco, Shay Laurent, and Ben Osborne, who y'all did not see. He jumped out and had to go do some things. But I want to say thanks to Dustin and Chase and Ricky. Look, they work for some great plumbing companies. If y'all are in the Dallas area, I tell y'all all the time, I'm looking for plumbers. I know that their companies are too. And, it's a respect thing. I really like these guys and what they're doing, and that's why I brought them in. Paul Peck, you do it. Urban Explorer. Guys, thank you for everything you do. I kept seeing comments getting deleted, blocked, eradicated. People zoomed out with laser shots, whatever it took. Guys, I appreciate everything. Paul Peck, you're amazing. I love your channel. I love what you're doing. It has been really cool to watch you grow and watch you do the things you're doing. So I wanted to say thank you very much. Will, you want to jump over here and say anything before you get out of here? I know it's been a lot of fun. Come here and say hi, or come here and say bye. Will actually got to come in and say hi today. Now we'll actually let him say bye.
Bye.
Have you had fun today?
Yeah, it was a good show. I think I got a lot of comments in the chat that were saying that people liked having all the people in, giving their opinions, talking about their expertise, that sort of thing. It was pretty cool energy, and we still have almost 200 people watching right now, so that's awesome. So thanks to all these people out here.
Isn't that great? I mean, the subscribers, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I mean, we can make whatever video we want to make. We can do whatever we want to do. But the neat thing about it is, look, the subscribers keep coming back, keep watching, keep liking, keep commenting, and we try to comment. We try to do everything we can.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that, honestly, we have 150,000 people who want to keep watching.
I know, isn't that crazy? I mean, somehow y'all ended up on the plumbing channel and you subscribed.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to bring Will in again. Look, I really do appreciate you being with me since the beginning. You've been a lot of help in the growth, the content, the things that we do, bringing in the right people. Bringing in Grayson was Will's idea, and it did. It helped a lot. Paul Peck, love you, brother. Neil, if you're still in here, Big John. Tell Sherry I love her, but I love you too, brother. So great. I really do appreciate everything y'all do. Will, thank you for all your help. It's been wonderful.
Absolutely.
So, guys, we're going to close this one out. If you hadn't done it yet, give us a thumbs up, or if you liked it, let us know. So, thank y'all very much. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.